and welcome to the 4th episode of Top Guy Theater. Today we're going to be watching, for whatever reason you guys voted, Fall Brawl 1995 over WrestleMania 7, Night of Champions 2010, and what was the other one?
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven 2002. Was it 2000? 2000.
No, 2000.
You all picked Buckhouse Buck and Dick Slater against the Harlem Heat. That's what you guys picked. So that's what we're watching. With me today, my esteemed panel. We're going to go real quick around the horn. Today's going to be a little different of an open. So I got Henry Evinger, Karl Mandik, James Elkouri is our special guest. I remembered how to say his name. Frank Bruno, and Matt Levitt. So a couple things before we start today's show. First, special announcement for the show. This episode, episode number 4, will be the first episode with an audio-only service on Podbean.
Hey.
So starting
That's
after
awesome.
this show, you'll be able to hear the audio-only version. So you don't have to feel obligated to watch our ugly asses. You can just watch us or listen to us driving or whatever the case may be. So there's that. And then, so I became, I initially joined ad-free shows as a Patreon member of Eric 83 Weeks. So I've been an OG since March 30th of this year, which is my birthday, ironically enough. The last 2 months, 3 months now, I've been a top guy. And the connections I've made have been far outweigh any price I would have to pay for podcasts. It's so much more than that. And the always why we bring this up is because it's come into question by a few people on Twitter. And I'm not entirely sure why, but I work every day. My last day at my job now is October 7th. And when I get to that day, I would have worked 31 consecutive days. It's all I do. My wife stays at home and watches my kids. So my adult escape time, for lack of a better phrase, was Conrad Thompson's podcast. That was my escape. I got to immerse myself in my childhood again. And then when I became a top guy a couple months ago, I started talking to Eric Bischoff and Jim Ross and Blue Meanie and Sean Mooney, Luke Gallows, Arn Anderson, Jim Ross. And just that alone is worth it. But I think the most invaluable part of it is I have a group of about probably 8 to 12 friends, people I can legitimately call my friends I didn't have before. And I can tell you personally, now, James, you're different, but when we were on last week with Eric, we kind of stayed on the Zoom afterwards, and you and old T-Bone, whatever his name was, stole the show. But Karl, the first thing we did together was the rebook of Road Wild, and you dressed up as Tony Schiavone, and the weird part was I thought that was just how you dressed. I did not realize that was a costume.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might moonlight. Yeah.
And then Frank, I got to know, I saw him at Eric's rebook, but I really got to know Frank at JR's Q&A.
Oh, yeah.
And your guys' interaction, I just fell in love with you instantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, go back and watch it. It made me cry watching it live. Matt, yours, I didn't have an interaction beforehand, I recall at the top of my hand, but when I saw you do my chat pack, which we'll get into that in a little bit, but we're doing our plugs with Karl and Lauren, the first thing I thought when I watched you was I have to have this guy on my show, because we're just two Midwestern guys. We have a lot of things in common, very similar taste, stuff like that. And then Henry, you came on as one of our special guests. It was 2 weeks ago.
Something like that, yeah.
Road Wild 97, I think, was your first one, and you've endeared to me ever since. But it's so much more than just podcasts, and it is a family. Like, we don't say that because it's cute or it makes a nice T-shirt. It's the truth. And with that being said, we've had a rough week this past week with Adam Simmons, fellow top guy. His grandfather passed away earlier this week. Luckily, we were able to send some flowers to him, posted them on Twitter on a Discord, which I thought was a nice gesture on his behalf, thanking all of us. And then we lost Road Warrior Animal and Gail Sayers, who I'm from Chicagoland, and Matt, you're from Kansas. Gail Sayers is an absolute legend up here. And then Matt, you shared some news this earlier this week, and before I say too much more, I'll just pass it off to you, and you can kind of discuss with us what you would like.
Well, many of you already know this, but and at very least the folks who are here with us today that are going to do this watch along, a lot of you know this, but my wife and I tested positive for COVID. And so we have been quarantining this week. It's been a scary situation, and we got really, really lucky with our symptoms because it could have been a whole lot worse than it actually was. But it is scary because we were kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop the entire time. What I can say is it's been really remarkable. TJ and Frank and Karl have checked in on me daily. Frank in particular, I get a text every day from, and he just checks in on me. It's remarkable. I mean, all of you folks are people that I have never met in person. It's all been over Zoom, or it's been during a watch along, or it's been on some sort of a Twitter DM conversation. This has been a really, really integral part of surviving quarantine and getting through this, is you guys checking up on me. Lauren offered to share her logins for streaming services with me. And again, this is a person that I've never met in person, that it's always been text or again, these kinds of conversations. I know that for whatever reason, there have been some folks that have called into question when Conrad and when Evan talk about ad-free shows as a family and as a community. I don't know why there's a skepticism, but I can say without a doubt that it really is a community. It really is a family. For whatever reason, what Conrad has done has worked. He's brought a lot of like-minded, positive thinking individuals together who have bonded because of a love of wrestling, but it goes deeper than that, and it's gone beyond that. And especially the folks that have checked in on me, the folks that have shared conversation with me this week, I can't thank you guys enough. And my family can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, and I know it'd be easy to say, well, these guys are only saying that because, they know Conrad, they're on the payroll. Let me be perfectly clear. This show is in no way, shape, or form affiliated with ad-free shows other than the fact we're all top guys. That's the commonality. That's where it ends. We're not on the payroll. We're not, we don't belong to them by any stretch. The germ of this show started because I think there's a sense of wrestling lore that's kind of been forgotten, for lack of a better phrase, with the this resurge of podcasts and what have you, and that's the fan's eye. And you can hear all the business numbers and backstage tellings and politics and whatever else. That's fine, but the ability to go back and remember these as they happened as a fan, I think is much more important. Well, I shouldn't say much more important, but is more relatable. And the ability to go back and watch these shows and relive them with other people who were around the same age, relive the same memories, is why this show exists. And Karl, you and Lauren have started a phenomenal show of your own called My Chat Pack. And it's along the same lines, except for you guys don't watch wrestling. You guys just learn who we all are.
Yeah, we tried to blend, it really was getting into, we have to constantly talk to each other about what are we really what are we really doing? There's a lot of hypotheticals that Lauren and I will just stay on the phone for and talk to each other about. And, we toss in clips at the beginning to make it wrestling focused, pop culture wise, try to, incorporate that. But at the end, we just want to be two genuine people that are genuinely humbled to get to connect with others within there, and whatever work that takes, or whatever time, effort, communication, all that stuff takes, is worth it if you can make 1 to 1 million connections. And it was her, she came to me with the brainchild, and it just became a thing where you start seeing what the possibilities are. And I think the more the message that we want to get across, the one that if you read between the lines, is people hear us talk about connection, and people hear us see the family aspect that comes into play. But more than anything, it's trying something that you never thought was possible. That's what we hope really people will read between the lines, because who are these two people to even go out and try this? I had no confidence in myself in doing this or learning it. And a lot of the words of inspiration I did get came from AFS fellow, friends, family members, but the Erics of the world. Not knowing is as powerful as, not knowing what you don't know is very powerful, because you can learn it, you could study it, you could do all that stuff. How fear and negativity was a weapon in his life, and how his narrative has changed since episode 1 to really, if you go up to Super Brawl 2000. And those are powerful stuff. It's powerful things, and that's why it is a kaleidoscope of personalities that are under that Conrad utopia that he's built of audio and media in general. So we just hope Lauren and I are just don't see it any other way than making sure that each and every episode does have that. There's gonna be some ones that are different, that are just wacky and fun. There's gonna be some ones that are super serious. There's gonna be ones but tackling all those points at the end of the day shows that we all are coming from different walks. And if we can show them, support them, endorse them, and connect them with others, then we've done something that we can keep our name to.
If you have not seen my chat pack yet, you will see their Twitter handle on my Chiron. When I go back and re-edit this video, you'll see it up there. Really tremendous stuff. I've been on there once, looking forward to coming back. Actually, I've been on there twice technically, but I'm looking forward to coming back on there again. James, you're kind of the only one out of the group, Frank and Henry both have, that really hasn't gotten to say, how you kind of came into ad-free shows and what it means to you. So I'm gonna give the floor to you for right now, and then when we're done, I have one more plug, and then we'll start the show.
All right, sounds good. Basically, how I came into it, you hear it all the time in the podcast. Never really joined. Always wanted to. Kept looking at the website, the Patreon, and I was like, man, if I'm going to join, I'm going to be a top guy. I wanted to join because you just keep reading, the benefits and everything, and the content and the extras and all that stuff. And by the end of it, it was just one night. I just, signed up. Didn't even, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it for the content, not really get involved with anything else. Yeah, I may join something here and there. Next thing you know, you kind of see some things, you get like a retweet here or there, you get like a comment, you get things like that. Next thing you know, you meet like one person, you meet like 5 people, you meet 10 people. And you're on a Zoom call with like 60 people with Bischoff, like out of nowhere. It's insane. It's just, and it's been a real community like since, like
Well,
I did that, Tuesday?
Yeah, I was saying to show how quick that was. Bischoff's Locked and Loaded was Tuesday. James was in our group chat on Thursday.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Like, I mean, and I am not paid or endorsed or sponsored or anything. I'm a dude that pays. I paid to be part of the community, and then I advertise like the greatness of the community because it really is good stuff. Like, it's helped me out a lot. I love it. It's a place to escape. Life sucks. Bam! I can watch along. I can listen to stories about my favorite wrestlers, background stuff you'll never get. I mean, it's been good. Always.
And I of all the things I would like this show to accomplish, I hope the biggest one is, the with the world we have around us as we know it today. If I can offer you 3.5 hours to just get away from it and just break out and just sit around with some buddies and watch, that's my goal. So my last plug for this show, and then we'll get started with Fall Brawl, 1995, which is going to be a hot dumpster fire to go back and relive. Somehow this week I got, and if you listen to What Happened When, which I would assume all of us do, you know of the character Efren. This week I got to meet the guy and talk to Efren, and my goodness, what a sweetheart of a person. So after talking to him, I got the itch to start listening to Saved by the Pod. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys like ad-free shows and all the shows that they do, you're going to love Saved by the Pod. They didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing it on my own because I feel that strong about their show. It's tremendous. So I'm going to recommend Saved by the Pod. Again, the Twitter handle will be right here when the show comes out. And with that, I think we're ready to start Fall Brawl 95. Unless, Henry, Frank, is there anything you want to add to this before we kind of move on?
Can you, if you don't mind, real quick.
Please, Frank, have at it.
So I was actually appalled that anybody would ever insinuate. I don't know why, but I just was really angry when I saw somebody would insinuate that I was on the payroll to retweet the things that I retweet. And I became a top guy back in March. It helped me through the pandemic. It really has. And my intent, like everyone else has said, was just to get the extra content. I wanted to what really struck me is I wanted to hear why Eric Bischoff got fired from WWE this last time. That's really what was one of the selling points for me. And then we started having all the Zooms, and then the corner turn for me was talking to Jim. I really went into talking to Jim just because I'd always wanted to talk to Jim about his experiences with Bell's palsy, which I had. And the love and support that I received after that Zoom call was overwhelming for me. And it's kind of just blossomed from there. And just full disclosure, I've started talking to Lori Bischoff. She's become my life coach. And I mean, she is purdy.
We won't tell Bischoff. We won't tell her.
And she said something to me that really resonated with me on Thursday when we had our first session. And she goes, I was explaining to her the importance of all the things I've got going on in my life, like working full time, working on my master's degree. And I explained to her how important ad-free shows was. And she said to me, Frank, it sounds like you have found your tribe. And I really just want to say, I want to thank all of you for being a part of my tribe, because that's something I think in the 40 years of my life I've been looking for, and I friggin' finally have. And it wouldn't be without ad-free shows. So I'm not on the payroll. I'm just a dude that's been watching wrestling since 1988, and I want to enjoy it with other people. So that's my soapbox.
Henry, I'll give the floor to you, and then we're going to be off to the races with Fall Brawl 95.
I told this story before when I did Chat Pack Live with Karl. I'm still a little bit bummed I couldn't do it with Lauren too, but que sera, sera. I discovered all of these podcasts completely by accident. I was out with a couple of friends of mine one day, and we were driving to get food, and I happened to hear a voice I didn't recognize. He was listening to a podcast. What I found out later was 83 Weeks. And all of a sudden, after Conrad stops talking, I hear Eric Bischoff. And I'm like, I know that voice. I know it from anywhere. It reminds me of something. I asked the guy driving, I'm like, who is that? That sounds so familiar. He's like, that's Eric Bischoff. And he sold me on listening to the podcasts in general. And through Eric, I found the others, and I came in on the ground floor of Grill and JR and the Arn podcast. Back in March, I joined ad-free shows because, as you'll recall, as the pandemic started to get bad here in New York, they shut everything down almost like that. They began to do that on my birthday this year, and it still hasn't really gone back to normal. And I wanted something that would keep me from going completely nutty. And I found that in ad-free shows. I didn't start out as a top guy like I presume all of you did.
I did not either.
I didn't start out as a top guy. I built my way up because of the different things that were happening. I actually became a top guy like 2 days before we did the watch along with Road Wild 96. And I became a top guy because I actually wanted to pick Eric Bischoff's brain because I had an idea. And I never in a million years thought I'd have an experience like this with others. Like Matt said, I've never met any of you guys in person. I hope to someday once this all goes away. And I am not a paid shill for ad-free shows. If I were a paid shill for ad-free shows, I would hope to be living in a much nicer place than what I am right now.
Hey, that is a bomb-ass map of the United States, my friend.
I've actually, one of the things in my spare time I like to do when I'm not listening to podcasts, I like playing video games.
Of course.
One of them is Fallout, and what's behind me traced out, it's kind of hard to see.
Are you serious?
I have all of the Commonwealths traced out from the first one. Because I got bored one afternoon, and I'm like, screw it. I have markers. I have time. Let's do it.
I love you so much right now, Henry.
That's
my
amazing.
Lord.
But I got an opportunity by accident to do something I'd never done before. I told Karl about it when we did the Chat Pack Live. When you offered me the ability to do this 2 weeks ago, TJ, I'd never done anything like this before in my entire life.
And now you're a fixture.
I had to convince myself in my own mind. A webcast is just like doing radio, but it's got moving pictures too.
Yes.
And I find that I actually really enjoy this. I wasn't sure how I'd take to it at first, but
And if you remember, Henry, when you first did the show, Road Wild 97, you messaged me, and I want to say you apologized to me for your performance on the show. And I was like, no, you were great. I said, I wish you would have talked more.
It takes me a while to come out of my shell. That's been a building experience these last couple of weeks.
Come on out, Bubba. We're ready. Let's do this.
Let's get it on then, my friends.
All right. Yes, let's watch Fall Brawl 95. By the way, we'll give you about 20 seconds because there is a commercial in the front of this. I think it's 16 seconds long. So go ahead and watch that first. We'll give them a couple seconds to get going. By the way, Karl, we've all discussed whenever we get the opportunity to have our top guy get together in Huntsville, I want to say Kansas is probably directly in between you and I, with me being in Indiana, you in Arizona. So I'm gonna pick up Phil Jackson, St. Louis. We're gonna meet at Matt Levitt's house, and then we're going to Alabama.
It's actually not a bad way to do it, because if you went
that
down
poster anyway, Karl.
Yeah, I was just saying. Right. I've got so much in there.
Henry can draw
when I come into Wichita and things are cleared up, we're going out to, for sure. We're going out. Man, I wish they had a free state there. What's the place in Old Town that's by the beer place that's by the oh gosh, it was right by my freaking lofts too. You know what I'm talking about? It's a brewery. It's got the second floor.
Oh, you're talking about the River City.
Yes, River City. Thank you. I wish they had a free state because that's my favorite. Shout out Lawrence Rock Chalk. On Wisconsin.
Carl, I don't mean to cut you off, but I didn't end up getting that ad. Have they started the pay-per-view yet?
I'm at 0.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good. Maybe okay, well, that's fine. Well, then we're going to start it. So let's go ahead and get ready to press play in 3, 2, 1, play. Here it is, all the glory. That is Fall Brawl 95.
Fantastic. Yep.
We all remember. I love one of the first advertised matches they post. Pillman versus Johnny B. Bad. The Cobra versus Sergeant Craig Pittman. That's 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Frank, what did I text you yesterday about the Sergeant versus Craig Pittman?
Oh my God. Hold on, I gotta go back to the text. I was dying. Wait. It was, where you at, Carl? Top guy.
Sorry.
And there's 2 really good matches buried in this pile of garbage, by the way.
The DOA versus those Breweries, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I picked this one. I'm like, I didn't pick this for Flair and Arn. I didn't pick this for the Dungeon of Doom. I didn't pick this for. Well, I wouldn't pick it for that. I picked this for Sergeant Craig Pittman and frickin' what's his face?
The Cobra. Actually, it's not the Cobra. It's just Cobra.
Cobra, yeah.
Well,
I picked this for Flair Anderson, but the thing that drew me and the thing that made me vote for it was the way that Eric Bischoff vigorously defended the segment that comes a little later here with Gary Spivey and Mr.
Oh my God.
Oh yes. And I want to thank everyone, by the way, who participated in our poll, because the first week we did a poll was WrestleMania 3. Bobby Heenan won the vote, and that was the show we tied to Heenan. And I want to say that poll had 14 votes. So it's pretty much everyone that listened voted twice.
Yeah, the thing about your poll this week, for a lot of people that really are investing, I went Zodiac on myself with my thumbs on my phone. I was like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no, Fall Brawl. That was a tough one.
I voted for Unforgiven 2000. But here's what's funny is I actually had this poll open for 4 days, which the first one I had only had open for 2, so that might have been part of it. But I would say 85% of those 4 days, it was either Unforgiven 2000 or WrestleMania 7, which would have been the Rick Martel episode, that led the way by a lot. And then the second to last night the poll was open, Fall Brawl baby-faced us, started making its comeback, and now here we are. And I did not see this coming a mile away. By the way, this first match, Pillman Johnny B. Bad, is actually really, really good. This is a really good match.
29 minutes, 14 seconds.
And it is.
I'm a little surprised one of these two doesn't hold a title for this match.
So the stipulation for this match is the winner of this match becomes the #1 contender to Sting's U.S. title.
And because Sting and Hogan are both in the War Games
Brawl,
match.
Yep. In the War Games, yeah.
There's no defense of either of those titles.
Right. And actually, Matt and I were talking about this before the show started. If you drop the Dungeon of Doom gimmicks from the main event, it's not a terrible main event match. But because it's Zodiac, because it's the Shark, because it's Kamala, who else was even in that? I don't even remember.
Kevin Sullivan, too, wasn't he?
No, he came in later. That was if you won, they got 5 minutes with Sullivan.
Ming.
Do you think with Johnny B. Bad? Oh, sorry. No, I'll let you guys go. Question.
I don't think anyone was going.
Oh, here's my question. So Mark Merrill, Johnny B. Bad walks out, and he's like, "What do you guys think? Looks pretty good." And I could see Dusty sitting there saying, "Baby, you're missing something. Well, you miss him. Hey, yeah, get Craig Leathers on the phone, get some frisbees made up so he tosses that shit out. Oh, hey, oh, baby, hey, where's that wardrobe girl? Wardrobe, put some tassels on his Master Blaster, that confetti shooter. That thing does not have tassels. That man does not step in Dusty's ring. You put some tassels on that damn thing. What the hell? Why does it need tassels? Look at your outfit.
By the way, can we appreciate what we're looking at right now and then notice that Michael
No.
Buffer is calling this match?
Which from
Oh my
afar looks like Vince McMahon.
It
Like,
does.
there was a profile when Pillman walked in. It was almost as if Adam Page was walking next to Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was real quick, and I was like, "Whoa!" I just saw two different, like his side profile when he was Tanley Stanley Vince, and a full head of hair. I wonder how much Buffer got for this.
Does he do the ring announcing for the whole show?
I don't think so.
It's weird.
There's one way to find out. Give me
Hey,
a
so
second.
does
I wanna
every
say-
match get this? Like, is he ready to rumble in every match, or does he not even?
I don't think he does. That's what's weird.
I think
I think he
every
opens and
WWE
I think he sandwiches. I think he opens
Yeah.
and closes.
No, he does the whole thing.
Oh, does he?
Wow.
Wow. Dude, he must have made like $3 million.
Hey,
this
yeah,
show.
don't you get paid like every time you do that? Or
Yes.
is it just like a
You cheat
per
trade.
Maybe
appearance?
it's only when he says, "Let's get ready to rumble."
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
That is
Yeah.
a rumor of his contract.
But does he
So-
only say "Let's get ready to rumble" in the he may introduce them, but I think he says he only gets. He says,
Well,
"Let's get ready to
I
rumble."
have my closed captioning on, so I will tell you in just.
See,
Like,
mine's,
hey, standing at 6'6", and let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, yeah,
does he have
Brian
to do the whole
Pillman,
thing?
let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
for
This
I just wanna-
match is like the epitome of what could have been. Brian Pillman and Johnny B. Bad.
So
Ed agrees.
And Nick
Can we look-
Patrick.
can we look at this from a revenue perspective?
That's
Do you
the-
know how
let's-
much? Do you know how much money they probably lost in seat revenue because they had to put 2 rings down?
Oh,
Like-
Bischoff's brought that up.
Yeah,
point.
no, it's like
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
probably what,
I
12
love it.
rows?
yeah, no, I love this concept of this
I do
paper.
too.
I always did.
I do too.
I love it. I love it now in WWE when they do it. But
Now, I don't like the fact that was it 95? So I would say 90, because 92 was the Dangerous Alliance, and I don't remember who they faced, but it was a really good match. Really good. I mean, that was like the heel team was like Steve Austin, Rick Rude, Barry Windham. Like it was bananas.
oh, that was very underrated. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
understand why they didn't keep
Um,
going with that. That was
Yeah. But between, I would say, 93 and 96, because 96 was the NWO versus WCW. So 93, 94, 95. It didn't, like the War Games almost lost its meaning. Because if you, like the War Games before this, 94, I mean, it was just a hodgepodge of heels. Like there was no story going into it. There was no, like Buckhouse Buck was in the War Games match in 94. So it kind of lost its purpose until you had WCW, NWO in 96. And then I would say 96, 97, it really gained its momentum back. And then in 98, you had the weird Team Wolfpack versus Team Hollywood versus Team WCW 9-man War Games with the winner gets the title shots. How DDP won the title or title shot against Goldberg. And it just, I don't know, it just lost its luster to me after that.
What idiot came up with that concept?
I don't know.
Just take all 3 factions of WCW and put them together, and whoever manages to win this cluster gets a shot at the World Heavyweight title.
What a clown, whoever that was.
Right, like
so. At this point, I didn't look
we're
it up
doing a
because,
team thing, and then like, ugh.
hey, who does Texas has a game today? Do they not? By the
They're
way?
playing currently. They're winning.
Good.
Oh, you lost, by the way. So good day. Good day.
Who?
You know, the other thing I don't quite get going back
Wait.
to,
Who lost?
Oh, you
Oklahoma.
Know, you know who lost.
Oh, Oklahoma. Yeah. To K-State, which you just talked about on my chat pack, which is Matt and I were almost dying over here laughing about it. By the way, Karl, before we go any farther, my beer of choice today, and you're going to see this. I'm going to have to send you a care package. I have 3 Floyd's Gumball Head right here, made right here in Indiana.
See what I got.
I have to send you a care package of this.
I will. I can send. If anybody likes, well, the one that Eric said it was his favorite beer up until the Stone Cold beer. You can still get in this area. It's very hard to find, but it's the only local delicacy, if you want to call it that I can offer is listen to me, Cave Creek chili beer. And it's got what the hell was that? It was like a half sling blade. It's cool. I do look. Who brought up the Target? Was Henry? Was it you last week that brought up?
Yes, he wanted the Target canvas, which was tremendous.
I hated the double ring. I despised it so much until NXT did it. Sounds very. I
don't mean to cut you off.
No.
But I want to go back to that point I was starting on here. Frank said that they lost revenue. The Bischoff used to say they lost revenue doing the 2 rings. You know, the one thing that throws me, in 2 months from here, we're going to do a pay-per-view where 60 men are going to fight each other.
Oh my God.
In 3 rings.
3 rings.
Oh, he talked about that too. Not to mention all the extra talent you have to bring into. I mean, it would be like Hollywood Hogan, the Disciple, Nord the Barbarian. Like, it was getting so obscure by the time they got to the end. Mil Mascaras.
Random guy from AAA promotion.
Yeah, pretty much.
Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake.
There he is.
If you ever want to hear, my favorite is, speaking of random AAA promotions, what was it? Royal Rumble in San Antonio.
Oh, 97.
Yeah, when JR and they're all like, this guy's El Cibernetico. And then you got, like some
Latin Lover.
Yeah.
That was 96, not 97. That was 96.
Yeah, that was the show needed the dome, not the dome needed the show, or do I have that flipped around?
You had to flip it around.
Yeah.
It wasn't the show that needed a dome. It was a dome.
Hell, I'll take him for president. That'd be awesome. Like
Bobby Heenan?
In his current state.
God.
No politics, Karl.
That was so funny though.
Just an update, everyone, just so you know, the Tennessee Titans are 2-0.
So are the Bears.
So are the Bills.
Yeah, you got Falcons in Chicago tomorrow. We got Tennessee, Minnesota. Frank, I did not bet on that game. I'm a little, not in Tennessee's ability, but Minnesota's looked inept at best. I mean, really bad.
Diggs wanted out.
Really bad. Yeah, I understand. And that's why Dalvin Cook wants to get paid now. But
maybe Dalvin Cook will make his way to Buffalo.
Hey, what would you do? And not to get in too much far of a tangent, Frank, I want you to just think about this and text me it. I'm not going to text it. Valdez-Scantling on Green Bay with no Devontae Adams. Sunday night against New Orleans, which doesn't have a good defense. Or, and if anybody else wants to chime in, or Curtis Samuel with no CMC. And he was a running back for Ohio State, and there's rumors he's going to be running back and wide receiver.
Now, I drafted Valdez-Scantling last year, and at no point during the season was I like, boy, I'm glad I drafted that guy.
Yeah, but there's no Devontae Adams. He becomes
the number one.
Well, I think even Devontae Adams was injured for most of last year, too.
Right. He was not good last year. I'm just saying it's Lazard, and then it's MVS or MVS and Lazard. Or do you go Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson, and DJ Moore with a worse quarterback and I guess a better defense? But what's their Pro Bowl defensive end Ingram got just placed on the IR for
So wait, who are they playing? I'm sorry.
They're playing the Chargers.
Oh, I would start Valdez-Scantling. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, I think so.
No.
I think so too. Because the Robbie Anderson the Curtis Samuel thing, moving him to running back, but I can still play him as a wide receiver is weird. He was at Ohio State as a running back.
And what's fun too is I should be supremely confident with the Bears playing Atlanta tomorrow, but neither team can score. There's a very good chance tomorrow's game is going to be like 7-3.
I'm going to point to James on this one. Can Atlanta score?
I mean, number one, if you turn the ball over 4 times in the first quarter, yes. Number two, if you pretty much shut down Julio, and then Ridley all of a sudden has like 150 yards. So, yeah, they can score. They can score quite a bit. They can't stop nobody, but they can score.
That might be a shootout.
If you score first, it doesn't matter if you can't stop them, as long as you can keep putting points on the board.
The Chicago Bears quarterback is Mitch Trubisky. We can't have a shootout with ourselves, let
You
alone with another professional.
pray to Khalil Mack. You better pray.
Yeah.
And what about that one guy y'all got from the Cowboys? The other defensive end.
Mm.
You playing? Irving?
Uh,
Quinn. Robert Quinn?
As far as I know, the Bears have no injuries on defense.
Oh, well, if you got those two hitting, that should be good.
But that's been my life as a Bears fan is who's the quarterback? It doesn't matter. Our defense is going to win the game.
I will never forget. Like, how mad would you be if you're Urlacher and you have Rex Grossman? Like,
Well, here's the thing. Rex Grossman's probably had the best season by a quarterback we've had in the last 30 years. Because it was the Super Bowl year in 2006. People forget this, but the first half of that season, Rex Grossman was the undisputed MVP. There was no conversation. He had like 37 touchdowns and 4 picks heading into like week 13 or something like that, and then he was just dreadful. The last game of the season, we played the Packers, and he had more interceptions than completions. He was terrible.
you got like Suggs, Tillman. Poor guy.
But here's the thing. I think there's only 2 Hall of Famers on that Bears team.
From 06?
Yeah.
Urlacher is one.
Okay. And the other is this one's a little bit is going to fly underneath your radar.
I should know this. I'm a Bears fan. I know Peanut's going to get in eventually, but he's not in yet.
No, that's the correct answer. He's the greatest return man.
Oh, Hester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Devin Hester.
Did Hester go in already?
I don't know if he has. I'm just saying.
If he hasn't, he will.
And then on the other side, you have to say Manning, Wayne, Harrison.
The entire offense.
Clark.
And they can all kiss my ass.
No, I would say
Frank.
I would say no. I think it's only those 3. I don't think.
Aaron Glenn. I think. Or I'm sorry, Tariq Glenn. I think Tariq Glenn.
No. No.
Peyton's left tackle.
No, not even. Who was their running back? The guy from Miami. Yeah, he's not even getting in. Frank Gore. They're even talking about Frank Gore not getting in.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
If the Jets would actually utilize him the same way Buffalo tried to last year, I mean, granted, the Jets' offensive line is a complete dumpster fire. But Frank Gore could legitimately get closer to that number 2 spot on the Hall of Fame list, or on the all-time list.
Yeah.
Okay. Tone it down now. Tone it down.
No,
we don't need nobody going for the,
we don't need to chase down Emmitt Smith, even though he cheated Walter Payton out of his record. Yeah, let's do this. You want to do this? Let's do this.
Connection issues. Cheated? No. What do you mean cheated?
Walter Payton had 5. I'm sorry, Emmitt Smith had 5 legit Hall of Famers in front of him on the O-line.
Oh, he didn't get contact until at least the linebackers.
The Chicago Bears were like the Chicago Bears were like the little Giants from like 77 to 1985.
When was the last year Emmitt Smith played?
2009?
No, really?
Was that with the
I think it was
Cardinals?
like 04 or something like that. Left the Cowboys, I believe, in 02. And then,
I think he played. Yeah,
I
think he played 3 years with Arizona. So yeah,
I was gonna say he never went back to the Super Bowl after '95, did he?
No.
What are you doing right now? I thought that was just friends. I thought I was amongst friends.
Welcome back to halftime of the Falcons and Bears. It's well, folks, an ugly one out there. Falcons are up 42-0. The Bears have ran the annexation of Puerto Rico 19 times in a row, and it's not working. And Matt Nagy on the sideline, is that smelling salts or cyanide? Oh God! Cut away!
He is a terrible head coach.
I like Nagy.
MVP Mitch.
Well, James and I actually had this conversation at the Bischoff After Dark show we did. The only Bears quarterback – I hope not. The only Bears quarterback – I was actually sober for that one, so I actually wouldn't mind it. But the only Bears quarterback in the Hall of Fame retired in 1950. That was Sid Luckman. Everyone's like, McMahon should be going. Jim McMahon is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. He had like 2 years.
I know that Frank will remember this and Matt will remember this. but that wild card game between the Chiefs and the Titans when Nagy was the OC and the Chiefs were up by 24-3 at half.
Yeah, 24-3. Yep.
All right, and then there's that Mariota batted pass back to himself, catches his own touchdown.
Yep.
And then 4 days later, after they lose that game, the Bears introduce Nagy, and it is the most awkward press conference ever. It's like he's very proud to have accomplished so much with the Chiefs. Oh God, I can't get it out of my head. It was like he was saying one thing, but you could just see in my with my big 6 head, you might have had a scrolling banner across his head, F me, this is terrible timing. It was so bad. But wait, the Titans went to they lose the Jags? Who'd they lose to?
Yes.
The Titans?
Yeah.
No, the Titans lost to the New
Patriots.
England that year,
Yeah, got killed. That's right. Next round.
which was my
And
expectation.
the Patriots beat the Jags. Yeah, that's right.
Because they
Weren't
choked.
isn't the Jags runner up on Pittsburgh leading into that game?
Yeah, they beat the shit out of Pittsburgh leading into that
Mm.
game. Yep. And the Jags are actually up. They were close to winning, and then of course,
It wasn't
Tom
like
happened.
56-7 or something like that.
What the one
was
against Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. It was like 56.
No, I don't think it was that high. But weren't the Jags up on New England?
They were, yeah.
I think
For a while,
it was just like Houston and Kansas City's past.
It wasn't that close.
Matt, were you scared? Which game were you more scared? Because weren't they losing in both games?
Oh yeah, they were.
What was
losing
the other
against
one?
Houston. They were losing against in the Super Bowl to San Francisco. They were losing as well.
Dude, I had so much
They
money
were
on
losing
San
against the
Francisco.
Titans too.
We'll let them get up by
That's right.
24 points. Then we'll start trying. It'll be hilarious.
Oh no, the Titans. That was the other one.
Yeah, the Titans. The Titans were up on them, I think, at one point by 10. I was never confident going into that game. I was so shocked that the Titans got to where they got. I was just happy to be there.
I couldn't believe they'd beat Baltimore, honestly.
That Baltimore game was, I think, an eye opener for a lot of people.
By the way, Jacksonville beat Pittsburgh 30-9. That was.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
close.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks, Google.
Hey, last time Antonio Brown was worth anything. Or no, he was. Yeah, he played that season. And the last
He
season
did.
was when he did his little
Fur
I-
coat,
17.
fur coat on the sidelines of a game they had to win to get in.
He Joe Namath it.
He just friggin', I'm good.
And how stupid does that idiot look now? Where is he now?
Well,
You
now,
should,
Probably
just-
headed to jail.
here's this. How stupid does he look, or how insane is it of Mike Tomlin to be able to corral Le'Veon Bell, who's a noted cancer, Antonio Brown, and with all that Roethlisberger was accused of or went through, he looks like a freaking genius now. And before it was like, they're unbuttoned, they're unsharp, they're sloppy. Yeah, they get it done. They're like when I watch Cleveland, they're very sloppy, unbuttoned. They don't really do.
Yeah, you can tell.
They kill themselves in penalties, but it's like for him keeping it together and getting 2 Super Bowls and getting to 3, I'm like, Tomlin might be sneaky underrated in our generation.
I don't even think it's
Really.
sneaky.
His alma mater produces a lot of decent players and coaches.
Wait, don't tell me it. Wait, it's going to be somewhere in your neck of the woods. Pitt?
Believe it or not, Mike Tomlin went to the College of William and Mary, which also produced
Oh.
Buffalo's current head coach and Hall of Fame head coach Marv Levy.
And
Marv Levy.
and a player to remain nameless who currently is in prison, if you know who I'm talking about.
When did O.J. Simpson go back to prison?
Nope.
O.J. Simpson from USC.
No, this also involves a sharp object. This one is Darren Sharper. He went to William and Mary.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, Carl, sharp object.
Collins.
Who did?
No, New Orleans.
Oh yeah. It was in New Orleans. Yeah.
This
Oh,
was
Matt.
crazy with Sharper. He played in the league for like 19 seasons.
He was gonna be a Hall of Famer.
He played forever.
I think
Wasn't
he
he a
had-
kicker?
No, he's a
Wasn't he a
safety.
kicker?
No, Darren Sharper was safety. He was
Number
awesome.
42.
Yeah, he was like
played
one of the-
for like Packers and everything. He was good.
Packers, he was real good.
But you know, he did play for him. Sure.
He was the Charles Woodson before Charles Woodson.
He kind of can't be, but coming out of William Mary, I mean, at least Woodson won the
Michigan.
Heisman, Michigan. So wait, now TJ, we've never gotten this out of you. With living in Indiana, I love Purdue. I hate IU going to Ball State. And actually, I think went to Ball State at the same time as Mike Kolb's wife. But anyways, so do you hate Ohio State or Michigan more?
Neither.
No.
I'm pretty indifferent to that rivalry. Now, I don't like the fact that Ohio State thinks their fan base mostly thinks that they're, you know, an untouchable elite college football team, even though they haven't won anything in. I mean, when was the last time Ohio State won a national championship?
They won.
Was it
They've been in
Urban Meyer?
contention.
It was with 9 gauge JT Barrett.
So that was what, 2016?
Well, wasn't it Cardell Jones ended up coming in?
I'm sorry, Cardell
Oh,
Jones.
that's right. Yeah.
Not JT Barrett. I'm sorry, Cardell Jones.
So I mean that's nice, but they act like they're better than Alabama, even though Alabama's won like 7 in the last 15 years, and Ohio State's gotten 1, and they beat Oregon. Like we're not. That's okay, I guess.
That would be like taking the Cleveland Browns and letting them play a football team composed totally of high school girls.
Yeah. Wow. Henry coming in hot. Whoa.
That would be a good game too. That would be actually pretty competitive. I have a feeling.
I mean,
Cleveland would probably lose by 3.
I've always wanted to ask this. Do you guys think that Eddie George is a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
How about Steve McNair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I don't think Menair's getting voted in. I think he's going to be one of those legacy picks.
That kills me.
I think he gets in by. I'm going to be very careful. If he dies I don't care. I'm not even going to play that. Too dark. Here's a part of it. Numbers that we're going to have to start doing this. They did it more recently with baseball, but the passing numbers, when you throw for 5,000 yards, Justin Herbert, who is starting game 3 for the Chargers, throw for 5,000 yards. When Dan Marino did in the 80s, it was a gigantic effing deal. So we have to start looking at this. The problem with McNair is that he falls into this limbo gap of when the NFL was just switching over from the Randy Moss, take it off the top, air it out, new rules type of lifestyle, instead of that, we've got a bell cow back and we'll just ride him. So what he does is he falls in there. Talented as he was, I have to look at his numbers to see what he did. And it's tough that he only made 1 Super Bowl appearance. So that one is going to be so. But what happened to him and everything, I think there's going to be enough sympathy that he gets voted in.
I want to see them both in. How is
Eddie George not in?
That's the thing. Eddie just is. I don't know. It drives me crazy. So
They
I just
kept
want
Derek Thomas
Daryl
out for
get in
years.
first.
I don't understand the Hall of Fame because I thought Derek Thomas should have been a surefire guy that got in, and it took him, I think, 3 tries to get into the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
Yeah,
Andre
was that?
Reed was one of the best wide receivers in the NFL history, and it took him, 15 years to get in the Hall of Fame after he retired?
And I think the same goes for Art Monk. He had the most catches of all time, and they couldn't get him in. He has the most catches of all time, like into the 90s.
Who the hell votes? Who's the voting body?
I don't know.
Definitely the public.
Media and the Hall of Famers, right?
I'm friends with one Heisman voter because you have a group of sports media members, sports writers, whatever it is, and past Heisman winners on that vote. And he talked about the process. And it's a little bit more pressure filled, or I would say pressure inducing than you would imagine. Because I was.
Well, and they want the big name too. Like they want to, like, oh, we're inducting like these big name, and then like you'll trickle in the other ones in there.
And think about this. All right, here's half of a domino effect. Here's what the real weird thing is going to be. If Joe Burrow, if you go off last year, the number one pick, like the preseason mock drafts, and even through week 5, the number one pick in the draft was Chase Young, and it was not even close. It wasn't even, there was not even close. Burrow goes on this run. He goes from being a 5th or a 6th rounder to the number one pick, and he looks amazing. So now we get this very bizarre, weird college football season. There has to be a crop of hidden gem quarterbacks that either opted out not to play or transferred, or just we don't get to see them because their school's not playing as much, that then pop up in the NFL, right? Like, I mean, I don't mean that to be like a yes, no, but that has to be a thing, right?
Well, isn't it going to be
a
Fields?
weird buffer of 2020, 2021 is going to be real strange how it plays out.
Won't the ripple effect be like, because won't somebody draft somebody in the 5th round and like, holy cow, this guy's got 1st-round talent, and not know it, and vice versa?
Yeah, what if you're like the dude at one of these small schools, because small schools produce talent too, and like, oh, your school opts out because you play for like the Southwestern, Eastern, Southern, collection of champions or whatever, so you're not playing because you play in front of like 100 people. Like DeMarcus Ware came from like a small school, T.O., Harry Rice, like all these big, the list goes on forever.
We can go.
Their schools opt out and they have no broadcast. They have no way to show their skill. And that's
Walter
a lost
Payton
tier.
is from Jackson State University.
I mean, look at.
Lost tier.
I wouldn't consider Fresno State to be must-watch. None of you guys are staying up till 1 a.m. to catch that, late Fresno State. Carr is starting for the Raiders. I wouldn't consider NC State a hotbed, and he wasn't known until he went to Wisconsin. Russell Wilson.
Marshall Faulk was from San Diego State. DeMarcus
There
Ware played
you
for
go.
Troy.
Yeah.
Right. You can go up and down the list of guys that.
I got a player that I think belongs in the Hall of Fame for something that he accomplished.
All right, wait, just give me the team.
Buffalo.
Steve Tasker.
Don't say Scott Norwood.
I
It's
still think that there are
Tasker.
people that can't let that go. Believe it or not, no. Former wide receiver Don Beebe.
Get the
Man
Dude,
played in 6 Super Bowls before Brady did.
James hates him some Beebe, and I know why.
James, no.
He's got heat with BB.
Hey, wait a minute. James, should I have them look it up?
It should be known. It's one of the most infamous NFL plays of all time.
Did Leon
No.
Lett
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the GIF I had you look up the other night.
Oh yeah, when there's
Everybody do yourself a favor. As this match is still going, this match feels like that was an awesome.
Yeah, we've covered all areas of sports, and this match
that
is still
that
happening.
DDT was awesome. Look up. I just want people to Google real quick Don Beebe neck GIF. See what happens.
Speaking of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, by the way, this is nuts how they actually go about selecting.
Do tell.
They've got a 48-person selection committee that is primarily comprised of media members, one from each pro football city with 2 from New York and 2 from Los Angeles, and then 16 at-large selectors who are active members of the media or persons intricately involved in professional football, including 1 representative of the Pro Football Writers of America. That seems like really broad criteria to get
somebody from each
at-large
team and then
selectors.
like a bunch of ESPN dudes.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
Probably John Madden, too.
oh, boom, he's Hall of Famer. Come on.
Yeah.
Here you go. I'm sending it out to everybody. There you go. You guys there you go. You guys can just watch it. I think I got it out to everybody.
Is that what he just bounced off his head?
He landed like in a worse pile driver than Austin. Dude, he should have never played it. And that's at that old Cleveland Indians baseball, the Municipal Stadium.
Yeah.
That thing is like, oh my gosh! Like, how is
I
he?
just looked at this. Oh my God.
How is
I'm actually reading about that right now.
It's insane. Yeah, that field was cement too. Like, how he didn't die.
The NFL
So-
just blocked it, apparently.
Wait, the one I just sent to you?
Yeah, I
I
can't
think
watch
so.
Are you serious?
Oh, no, I had to go to YouTube and I can see it. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
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 It's painful.
But
Henry, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
When I say this name, tell me what you think. Frank Wycheck. Say what you really feel, baby.
I remember watching one of those NFL top 10s that talk about the Music City Miracle. Tim Russert, may he rest in peace,
I know.
called it a
he's not-
fraud.
Yeah.
I kind of can't blame him. That man just wanted to see the Bills win the Super Bowl. I think Wycheck, I don't think we'll ever know it for sure because of the way he threw that ball right along the 35-yard line. I see the argument that some people do make that it was a forward pass, but I think that they called that right. And Frank Wycheck became a hero who became
He's my hero.
Wasn't he involved 3 weeks later when they played the Super Bowl? Wasn't he the one that caught the pass? It was like a yard short.
Dyson.
That was
Dyson.
Kevin Dyson.
Kevin
Okay.
Dyson. Do you know
The
Kevin
best
Dyson's
Super Bowl
a
I've ever
defenseman?
watched, by far.
I would say that. I said that for a very long time, but then the I'm sorry. As much as I hate the Patriots comeback on the Falcons is fantastic.
No.
And that's still
It
not
was
the
a
best
cr-
comeback in the history
I
of the
would say
NFL.
I would say Patriots Carolina is very underrated. Ricky
I love
Cole,
that one too.
that one was fantastic.
Jake Delhomme.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
Johnny B. Bag gets the
We gotta
win.
finish. We gotta
Good
fucking finish.
God.
As we relive 2000 NFL, Johnny B. Bag gets a win. By the way, we're
Unfortunate
talking
juice.
about McNair going to Hall of Fame. I don't think McNair gets in till Randall Cunningham gets in, which I had to look it up. I cannot believe Randall Cunningham is not in the Hall of Fame.
Is Warren
Makes no
Moon?
sense.
Yeah.
Warren Moon is.
Finally made it. Warren Moon.
All right, round table, just real quick, since we all play video games. Not the best, but your favorite football video game, any console, any system, any time, any year.
We're gonna have to go year specific on this one.
All right, I'm gonna go first just because I'm super generic. I am El Generico on this one. I love the Madden games, and I love the latest Madden game because it's got the updated rosters, and I can do what I want to do.
I haven't even played the new one.
I have no desire to go back to like Madden 2002 to play that. I just whatever the recent Madden is, that's the one I like. That's the one I look forward to. That's the one that I'm gonna play when we're done today. So,
Frank, I do have one small criticism of that series in general.
Go ahead.
Last year, I bought NBA 2K19 from the PlayStation Store when it was like $3. One of the things that they offer you in the 2K series that they don't offer, at least in Madden, I know they do in the NHL series, but they don't in Madden, the ability to expand the league. I feel like those games would be so much better if you could add more teams because they've talked about it.
yeah,
Now
that's
that
cool.
Los Angeles has two of them again, why not put
That's
a
cool.
team in London or San Antonio, Mexico City?
What I like, you can in franchise mode in Madden, you can actually move a team. You
But I
can't
don't-
expand, but you can move them.
But I don't want to move teams.
I know. I know.
There's some teams I don't want to move, but the ability to expand the league to 34 teams would be nice. Actually,
No, that is
put
cool.
a
That is
permanent
cool.
team in London, for example.
Mhm.
Frank, I'm gonna
Is
tell
that
you right
the
now.
road that Conrad wants, by the way? Is
Yes.
that same road
That
that
is-
he
that
wore
is the
in
one,
Royal
yes.
Rumble?
That's the 92
Yeah.
Royal Rumble road. By the way,
That is
Carl,
a
every time I do
beautiful road.
a franchise and move a team, it's always Tennessee. I move them back to Houston and rename them the Oilers. Yes, every time. Every time.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Wow.
no, that's
Me,
no.
that-
See,
The Tennessee Titans is the biggest fraud franchise of my life. They should be the Houston Oilers.
all right. Well, then you know what? Then the city of Houston needed to do what they did for the Houston Texans, and that's build a new stadium or upgrade the Astrodome.
I'm not
That's why
arguing with
Bud
that.
left. That's why Bud left.
I understand.
But why put two teams that are in the same division? I get moving the Oilers back to Houston, but the Texans would still play in that division.
You'd have to move the Texans somewhere.
You could leave them there, but put them in the NFC. Do what they did in Los Angeles and New York. Both of the LA teams and both of the New Jersey teams don't play in the same conference.
Yeah. I agree.
What I found interesting about that is you took out, like within a 18-month stretch, you took out football from Houston, like God's country of football, right? But then you took hockey out of Minnesota, which is like God's country of hockey, and put it in Texas.
Yep.
Think about that. The Minnesota North Stars moved to Dallas. Houston moves to Tennessee. Did they have a year off? Was there a year? Was it just like an immediate transition?
It was immediate.
Well, actually, I think they were the Tennessee Oilers for a couple.
Right, I remember that.
I have some memorabilia in my room here where
That's
I've got
terrible logo. Terrible.
I've got of course it is. I'm looking at it right now, and it's just the Tennessee Oilers. And then so they played in Memphis as the Tennessee Oilers for 2 seasons, and then
they played in Memphis.
Yep, they played the Memphis College. What is the Memphis
University? University.
Yeah.
It's where Derrick Rose went.
Yeah.
They played there.
Let's have a fun question, a little trivia question here. The 3 biggest cities in the United States that does not have a professional sports team.
Wait, hold on.
I'm going to guess one of them's going to get guessed.
Like any professional sports team, or
and
just
no professional sports teams at all.
So we're talking the big 4. Like MLS does not count.
So this is NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, hockey. And by the way,
I'm taking my headset off to think about this.
By the time you guys are done with this match is going to be over.
Cobra.
Gotta be something like random, like
St. Louis,
Birmingham or like Mobile or some weird.
Did you say St. Louis?
I said St. Louis, but then I realized they have the Cardinals and the Blues.
And the Blues.
I honestly was about to say Orlando, and I was like, the Magic. But
yep.
That's an hour away.
They don't really count anyway.
Oh God, here's your match.
Yeah, so this match is gonna be over before this conversation's over. I'm really surprised Frank hasn't guessed one already.
Oh, why me? Wait, hold on. I'm
turn around and look at the map.
I'm thinking. I can't.
What was the question?
The 3 biggest cities in the United States that does not have a professional sports franchise.
Ooh.
What, San Antonio? Well, they have the Spurs. Spurs, my God. I'm trying to look at Henry's damn map. Hold on.
I need a better camera.
Little Rock.
I need.
Little Rock is not one. Here comes Prince Iakea to the rescue. The future Prince Iakea. I told you, Matt. There he is, right there.
Is that who that is? That's not
Yes, it is.
Iakea.
You were not lying.
The artist about to be known as the artist that was formerly known.
the artist
TJ,
futurely known
question.
as Prince Iakea.
Phoenix. They don't have any professional teams, do they?
The Suns
Arizona Cardinals.
and the
Albuquerque?
Cardinals.
That doesn't count. They don't play in Phoenix.
Albuquerque's not one.
Tempe?
Of
Terrible.
course, by that
guess.
logic, then Buffalo wouldn't count either without the Sabres.
Well, neither would Dallas. They play in Arlington.
True, but they have the Mavericks still.
And the Stars. Don't they?
Yes.
What you got, Carl?
Carl's back now that he's done Googling.
All right. I'm ready to come back with my answers, my guesses.
Okay. If all
Memphis,
3 are right, I'm going to kick you off the show.
Memphis, Syracuse, and Louisville.
Memphis has the
Memphis
Grizzlies.
has-
Louisville's number 4.
Syracuse?
Louisville. Louisville's number 4.
Okay, so I got Memphis, right?
No.
Nope.
Grizzlies.
Oh my Lord, Carl. Syracuse is not even close. So then, okay, so Louisiana. So Louisville.
I think, and I feel like I'm wrong, but I'm going to try anyway. Columbia, South Carolina.
No.
Really? They have a professional team?
No. The city's not big enough.
So wait, Memphis is. Oh, right. Wait a minute. It's got to be Albuquerque.
No. Not
I
big
guessed
enough.
that one already.
Austin?
Lazy.
Austin, Texas is number 1.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Austin, Texas is number
Well,
1.
They do kind of have a.
They got one protein,
yeah,
goddamn
okay.
hook 'em horns.
Okay. Okay, so Omaha.
Omaha's not one.
Rochester, New York.
Mm-mm.
I was
You're in the right area, though. That's why I'm surprised
Trenton,
Frank hasn't guessed it.
Trenton, New Jersey.
No.
Albany?
Providence, Rhode Island.
No. Providence, Rhode Island's number 3. What's number 2?
Providence is a big city?
No, it's just one without a.
With a sport,
Without a team.
Well, how many people are in Providence? 1 million?
We're the smallest state. I mean, I don't know. Maybe 1 million? I'm not sure.
That's pretty big because I know Louisville.
That's why I didn't even think about it, because that's right up my right in my wheelhouse.
Louisville
That's what I kept saying. I'm surprised
has
Frank hasn't guessed it.
I always bring up Providence.
Yeah, I know. We know. We all know.
Is it going to be
God.
San Diego now?
Nope.
No, because they've still
Oh,
got
actually, you know what? Oh, yeah, the Padres.
Padres. Damn. That's right.
Good call.
Thank you.
They have a legit.
East Coast team, or East Coast City.
You know how little that narrows it down.
Hold on, no.
Well, you just
It's
said
gotta
San
be,
Diego.
I don't know.
No.
Marietta, Georgia? I don't know.
That what?
Mm.
What?
I just said I don't know. Marietta, Georgia.
Oh, is it like Asheville, Greenberg?
No.
North Carolina.
Clarksville.
North. Go north.
Washington, D.C.?
Right.
Redskins. Well, the
Whoa, whoa, sir. Whoa.
Oh my God, I'm so
Excuse me.
deeply offended. I'm so
Pardon
offended.
me. The Washington football team.
Yeah, it's in my division. I've called them Redskins since I was born.
Is it Richmond?
Close. You're really close.
Charlotte.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk, Virginia is number 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's heavily populated. I mean, Norfolk, because they
Norfolk. Don't call me Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk. Is that how you say it?
Norfolk.
Oh, see, I would say Norfolk.
Mm-mm.
Norfolk.
Newport News, like Michael Vick, Allen Iverson.
Yep. That used to be my old stomping grounds. I was in the military.
How far were you from how far were you from Richmond or any of that?
Richmond, I was an hour west. I was 20 minutes from Norfolk. In
Oh,
Hampton,
here it
Hampton,
is.
Virginia. Uh-oh, Gary Spivey.
Yep, the Spivey promo.
Oh, man.
I'm not Mr. Wonderful anymore.
I got to agree with Eric. I love this promo.
I look at one thing for Mr. and then not to be like
It's his arm.
weird, his arm. I'm always looking at that arm to see
I
if
am
it is
too.
that much smaller.
But this promo is so good.
I love that.
I agree with Eric. This is a really good promo. And here's the thing. I thought they made up Gary Spivey. I was not aware until the podcast. That's a real guy. When Eric posted the picture on Twitter, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. They found the wig and gave it back to him and like, hey, I found Gary Spivey. No, that's real life. That's Gary Spivey.
Wait a minute. Time out. Why? Who?
We're live. You can't take a time out.
What is going on?
We're live, pal.
Wait,
What the hell is that? That's not his real hair, right? That's a wig.
No, of course. Look, it's ramen noodles spray painted.
yeah, I was gonna say that looks like a George Washington.
a wicker runoff.
Is that his gimmick, though? Is that a gimmick?
Yes.
I don't. Wait, why
He
does
still
he?
looks like that today.
Is
What
the
an
wig part of
idiot.
his gimmick?
Google him.
Okay, wait a minute.
Don't you worry,
Why
I
does he have the same last name as Dangerous Dan Spivey?
I think it's a coincidence.
What's your timestamp? I just froze.
I'm at 48:51,
Yeah.
52, 53, 54.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
You know what the other thing I think of? Oh no, I don't think of this. Not hog watching or anything, but just Mr. Wonderful coming out of the shower, flip flops on, just everything out there for the world. He says, "Here I am, world, accept me," and just beats the piss out of Vader in that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't naked fight a dude. I'm not saying that I would be naked, You know what? I'm going to stop there.
Either way.
What the hell is going on here?
Have you ever seen this before?
I listened to the podcast because it came out.
I'm going to have to do the first ever watch-along rewind and then track so Carl can watch this.
I honestly am at the point that I need to hear this.
This was phenomenal.
This was the part of the episode of 83 Weeks that made me vote for Fall Brawl 95.
So what? I saw the picture on Patreon, but is he like a motivational speaker or what's the gimmick here?
He's clairvoyant.
He can see into the future?
Yes. Yes. And that's why he wears the wig. That encompasses his power. All right, everyone, pause. Everyone pause. Everyone listening at home, pause. We're going to go back. We got to figure out who can track this because Frank done win headset, so I don't know if he can still do it.
His website is incredible.
Go back to 4615.
And pause it there.
And pause it, and then we'll all.
I can do it. I can do it on my end with. Here, I'll give you a sample what it sounds like, and you guys tell me yay or nay.
Actually, you don't have to go back to 46. The WWE Network thing starts at like 47:10.
Yeah,
jumps right into the.
Oh, you can jump there automatically.
Oh my God, we can book Gary Spivey.
Stop.
All right, I have it stopped at 47:09.
47:08.
Or I'm at 09.
Right.
What about? Hey, wait. Then tell me this. You might do some editing around this. Tell me yay or nay if you can hear this.
Guys, I think we are going to have to book Carl a spiritual reading on my chat pack with Gary Spivey.
Yes. Oh my Lord. Yes. Yes to all of that.
Okay, an 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can't believe what's going on in my life. I don't even know if I'm Mr. Wonderful anymore. What is this?
This is such a good program.
Can't believe this. Can't believe it. What's going on? Something's gotta happen. This is driving me up a wall. Who am I? This ain't me. And I just don't know what's going on.
Paul Orndorff is so underrated. So underrated. So good.
I just don't know, man. I just don't know. Gary Spivey?
Mr. Wonderful, they let me back here to see you.
Gary Spivey?
He immediately knew who he was.
What are you doing here?
I got a vision.
Like it's Dave Thomas from Wendy's.
Something I have to tell you. I know you're not okay.
You did?
Yes.
How did you know that?
I got a vision. Psychics know. You got to listen to me.
Gary, I used to be the highest rated wrestler in the whole world. I used to have so many belts that I could carry them all.
I know. I can see these things. You're not okay, but you're Mr. Wonderful, and you're not feeling so wonderful. These things are going to pass. I see great things for you. You have to be Mr. Wonderful.
Imagine having the supreme confidence in yourself.
I used to be Mr. Wonderful.
No.
As a clairvoyant, to wear that shirt and that wig.
Wonderful.
You're like, man, I'm killing it
They
today.
call you Mr. Wonderful.
I'm ready to go on pay-per-view.
True. Look in the mirror.
Like he scalped Bob Ross.
The hair is even more robust now.
Okay,
Who do
so
you see?
it is a wig, right?
Yes.
Mr.
Okay,
Wonderful.
here's what I'm
You see the
wondering.
vision?
Was this like somebody else like in a previous promotion
I see
or
Mr.
No.
something?
Who do you see?
No,
He's
this
an
dude's
actual
legit. He's a clairvoyant, like legit. That's
So
his
like
job.
Miss Cleo. It
Yes.
was like a
Mr. Wonderful.
Yes.
You are Mr.
Perfect example, yes.
I am Mr. Wonderful.
They call you Mr. Wonderful.
I am Mr. Wonderful.
I mean, I'm literally looking at trying to book him right now for you, Carl.
I look
Oh,
better
my
than
Lord.
I've ever did before.
How many thousands of dollars is that going to cost?
Way too much, I'm sure.
I will gladly help. I will start a GoFundMe to do that.
Did anybody see Mucho More on Netflix? The
Mr. Wonderful.
you did see it. You know what I'm talking. Okay.
You
Yeah.
see what I see. They call you.
So this was a well-known person in American pop culture in 1995.
No.
No problems. You're Mr. Wonderful.
He is from North Carolina. This show's from Asheville.
Okay. Now we're getting okay. So
I am Mr.
It had a TV show.
So-
it was like a
Yeah.
on air.
80% of America has no idea what's happening right now.
That's it. Now you got it.
Mr.
His hair looks like the same hair after the fire breathing incident that I talked about last week with Ricky the Dragon. That's what that guy's hair looked like right afterwards.
Your scream was
I am
tremendous.
Mr. Wonderful. Thank you, Gary.
This is the
Oh
mirror.
my lord!
And Heenan's
He
like,
had to have lipstick on. He had to have lipstick on to leave that imprint.
Had to have.
Wasn't the Alex Rodriguez going on with that mirror show?
Who was obsessed with mirrors? Not for those reasons.
A-Rod.
In WCW. No, like
Warrior popping through or
yeah, the
coming through
warrior popping through one, and like, what is it with mirrors? And they're, I have no idea what I just saw.
There is a time code on that TV behind Bobby Heenan's shoulder.
Is there really? See,
Yeah.
oh,
I couldn't tell if it was a moving
my
time code.
goodness.
All right, we got DDP
Here we go.
coming out.
DDP and his 11 gimmicks gonna take off.
I'm looking at her
Oh,
gimmicks.
that's right.
What are you
This is
talking
still
about?
the everything's a gimmick era.
Take a shot for every gimmick he has. You're dead.
I was not aware until like 4 years ago that in the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Speed Dating, the girl that has her boob pop up, that's Kimberly Page.
Yeah.
Really?
Gina. No.
Yes. Yeah, Gina, what's up?
What's up?
Put a little rouge on you?
Gotta took a sack back, put a little rouge on you. No, not at all.
The game?
You got nice feminine qualities about you. It's an easy transition, from me going from the women to the guys.
I've lately been with the ladies.
Yeah.
Still a great movie.
To think in
really
4
is.
short years, that man's going to be WCW World Heavyweight Champion.
And I will plug this. I do want to touch on that. Just plugging this, if it wasn't for 40-Year-Old Virgin and anybody that likes The Office, again, oral history of The Office, if 40-Year-Old Virgin doesn't succeed, The Office is not. That's why I love.
Are you serious on that?
The tagline for the podcast is, it was a 30 or like 25 billion in one shot that The Office worked. And I'm like, yeah, right. They're hyping this up way too much. And then you start to listen to it and you're like, oh my God. They're right. Like all this stuff happens that you're like, that's insurmountable. I mean, if you want to listen to a story that even just for the sole standpoint of if anybody tells you, no, that can't happen. Who is he with, by the way? I'm sorry. Who is that?
Kimberly Page and Max Muscle.
Max Muscle. I couldn't remember Max Muscle.
Max
the
with two
Renegade?
X's.
Oh God, it's the Renegade.
And here comes the Renegade with Jimmy Hart. I don't know which one's more obnoxious.
So, side note, fun fact about DDP: he trademarked the Diamond Cutter and actually sued Jay-Z over it successfully.
Okay. And that was going to lead it, Matt. I was going to lead.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to lead into this question. Did WWF, or if anybody has this answer, file suit for infringement on the Renegade, or did they just not care?
Levitt's Legal Lariat. Here it comes. First edition.
I don't think they ever filed suit on the Renegade. I think it wasn't until Hall and Nash, and they believed that they were literally using the same gimmicks from, with the, in particular, Scott Hall doing Razor, that they ended up filing suit. But I think by that point they also were getting their asses kicked, so they probably needed the money.
Does the verbiage have anything to do with it? You know who I am,
But you don't know why I'm here.
Does that have a lot to do with it?
I think it not only has a lot to do with it. One of the big things about trademark is it possible to confuse with existing intellectual property? And the fact that he's doing the voice, he's alluding to the fact that you know who he is. He's got the hair styled exactly the same way. I mean, he is, granted, he's, quote, Scott Hall, but he's still playing Razor at that point.
You know what's fun? I can't remember what documentary I was watching, but technically, if you go back, parts of Razor Ramon were a ripoff of the Diamond Stud.
I would agree with
Diamond Stud, he already had the hair. He was doing the toothpick. He was already doing a lot of that stuff.
And the two guys in the ring having the match were?
The Ultimate Warrior, Ripoff, and DDP.
No.
What are we
No.
discussing?
Scott Hall showed up.
Scott Hall.
I actually know
Mike-
this. It is Mike Enos and Mark
Yeah.
Starr.
Yeah, I don't know the second one.
I couldn't
know Mike
remember
Enos.
yeah.
But
Dude,
Mike
he
Enos
shows
was going
up in
as
that
the Mauler.
That
Mark
sweet
Starr versus the
Canadian
Mauler.
tuxedo.
Who's got a Canadian tuxedo on? Oh, Scott Hall did.
For the
Yeah.
first time. That denim on denim was sweet. I thought that was badass growing up.
Acid
We-
wash on top of it.
You know, we go to Mario live. Denim.
And by the way, for those of you who might have thought there's no way TJ could be wearing a shirt, that's kind of my thing now, that's appropriate to this pay-per-view. We just talked about it.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
And by the way, this is not the original shirt. If you look close enough, there is a Twitter handle at the bottom of the shirt. So, at RealDDP, we'll plug there.
Bears. Beats.
Who watched it?
Battlestar
Bears. That was, oh my gosh. Did anybody finish David Arquette or watch it?
Yep.
I've not
Oh, I
watched it.
did.
I haven't seen it yet.
What the documentary? You can't kill him or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't kill David.
Badass, really good. I watched it like 2 weeks ago, give or take. Really good.
By the way,
It's
sign
certainly
me
on
up.
the list.
Sign me up for that ketamine. I'm in.
I'm sorry, what?
Where he does the ketamine treatment, Special K. But then he starts freaking out the doctors. It's supposed to be like they use it for an animal tranquilizer.
So this is a medical procedure you're discussing.
Yeah, I don't know how holistic or on the up it is with like the. Oh, I forgot about the 10 card. Wow,
Dude,
he
this
does
is
have a lot of
DDP,
gimmicks.
This is king of the gimmicks.
But no, that was really well produced. That's why does anybody know where the biopic stands with Hulk Hogan? Are they still making it? Because Eric's that head producer on it. You know, the writer's the same guy that did Joker. Does everybody know that? Right?
I didn't know that.
The writer is the guy who did Joker and did what? It's like the super famous guy.
Who's slated? Is it Chris Hemsworth? Is that who's slated to be Hogan?
Have you seen his Instagram?
Or,
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's his body's turning into it. I mean, like, I feel like nobody's talking about it because we're like never gonna go to the movies again. We get it like you're gonna have to have Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick, or you know, we're never gonna end up there. But like, is that still happening? Like,
I think the more important question is if we don't get this biopic, Chris Hemsworth's put in all this work. You think Vince McMahon's going to take a look at him, say that's really good shit, pal, and make him WWE champion?
He might.
oh my God.
Think about it though. The later we go, it gets closer to Mania season in Hollywood. That's an actor,
Bro.
You get a triple threat match.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome into Old Guy Theater. It's now 20:55, and we're all old and decrepit, and we're looking at the documentary. You can't kill Chris Hemsworth. And then after that, his life went into a complete spiral of drunk.
He was in the Avengers.
Yeah,
he was making billions of dollars.
You know what's fun too?
But this was the role he should not have took.
You said in 2050, I'd be 70 years old, and as old as that sounds, Conrad will only be 74. So like I'm fairly confident Conrad's still gonna be doing podcasts at 74 years old.
But with who?
Who cares?
Fair point.
Today I'm on there. I'm talking live with Moppy
from him about his podcast that he was doing.
Yeah, no
Hey,
shit.
I remember back in 2018 when blah 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 blah.
You opened up shop with JR. Today on the show I've got Moppy. You might remember him with Saturn from the year 2002. He's on the show today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna have what was Pepe, the sawhorse from Chavo Guerrero Jr.
You're
in
welcome.
1999.
By 2050, we're going to be watching it through some like a ring or bracelet or glasses. and it's gonna be like, hey, this is Conrad Thompson, and I'm Will Ospreay, and this is Flipping Out. Fuck my.
That sounded like the weirdest Steve Irwin impression I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Oh God.
He's not too popular either right now.
What?
Will Ospreay.
Ospreay.
Why? What happened? Uh-oh.
He's in the whole sexual assault England Europe deal.
He's still with his girl though, right? They're engaged because she got released from AEW. He's still with what's her name, right?
I don't know.
He's in the G1.
Yeah.
That's part of the issue I think with everyone is Will Ospreay has all these grievances against him, including I don't know if it's necessarily he's being accused of assaulting anyone, but essentially turning a blind eye when his friends did it and then using his power in Europe to get certain women not booked after they
blackballed a bunch of folks, right?
Yeah. And a big problem is that people were having was he was booked for G1 despite all of this going on. Essentially New Japan's just turning their eye. A blind eye.
If you do not mind if I plug a third party, if anybody is dealing with
don't do it, I will cut your screen off.
No, I'm saying if anybody's, and on a serious note, if anybody's dealing with these issues in the wrestling world,
oh yes,
go to SafeWrestlingCoalition.com. Brandon Taylor, a good friend of mine, and his wife Emily, both in the business, run it, and it's a place for people to go to share their story if they don't feel like there's somewhere to go. We had Brandon on to talk about it, but it was super early on. But that'd be an interesting one to go to because this is like an underrated scandal time if you really think about it. You know, there's real when you get into sexual stuff like that, it's like Ring Boy scandal, and you think of like some of this other stuff. But like this is like, I thought it was over during that first wave of wrestlers, and then it's been like,
oh, it's still going.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, really, like you could cast a movie, Kevin Spacey to Joey Ryan,
right?
But you know who did? For anybody that I always go back to this, the person who handled his stuff the worst during all of it is not speaking and being a recluse, and that was Tiger Woods. Who was not like that was, his name just dropped out of my head, the comedian who had his movie pulled the day before. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I did it. I'm very sorry. And he's moved on with his career, right?
To a degree.
Okay. Just come on to admit it. Yeah, I mean, like he was very up. By the way, a friend sent me, just speaking of comedians, are you guys familiar with Tom Segura?
Yes, I love Tom Segura.
Wow, he's really good. All right, sorry, that was a lot of things. But Safe Wrestling Collective, excuse me. Let me make sure I have the URL.
That's an important message. But
Safe Wrestling Collective.
Yeah.
And they're at saferestlingcollective.org.
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Wasn't Marty Skrull also
he was in it
that
too.
whole deal?
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
There's a shitload of really high-level independent guys.
But to your point, if you recall, when this first kind of kicked off, one of the first guys that got kind of tangled up in it was Cornette.
Yep.
And what you were saying about Louis C.K. about jumping on, Cornette hopped on that immediately and addressed it on his podcast, and he was like, yes, I've had other people at my house in the hot tub to do extracurricular things, but that's how we are. Like, my wife and I are that way. Like, no one's ever done it unwillingly. And I thought the way he handled it and just hopped out in front. Like, do I think Cornette's a saint? No, but it's.
Wait. You're just telling us that Jim Cornette had 3-ways?
Several times.
Probably more than.
Well, who in the hell wants to have an orgy with him?
And Stacey Cornette.
And Stacey.
Well, How about
Where's my onion, motherfucker?
Well, and it wasn't necessarily just three ways. There was some definite like cuckold vibes that might have been.
Cornette might have been
insinuated
watching.
there.
Jim Cornette is a freak.
well, wait a minute. Have
He's
you
a
gone
super
back
freak.
and have you listened to the story how angry he was that he was going to get a gun and shoot Brock Lesnar because he picked up his then partner, be very delicate how I say this, Cornette's, I'm going to just say female partner at the time, of where he picked her up because she just had something pierced. You've not heard that whole
No.
rant?
No.
Was this
Oh, boy.
when Brock was at OVW?
Yeah. Go listen to that. Look up Cornette threatens to shoot Lesnar. And it'll come up right away.
By the way,
Brock Lesnar
if I was
gets-
going to ask you, hey, there's a tag team match that's going to happen in 1996 or 1995. The two teams are going to be Harlem Heat and Buckhouse Buck and Dirty Dick Slater. Which team is the tag team champions? Who would you say?
I would have said Harlem Heat.
Well, guess
The-
what?
You're wrong.
It's Buckhouse Buck and Dick Slater. I still don't know what a Buckhouse Buck is, but he's a tag team champion here on the show.
Wait, is Bunkhouse Buck? That's not Matt Bourne. That's not
It's
Doink,
Jimmy
right?
Golden.
Oh. Does anybody have any? No, I won't bring it up. Too deep.
Nick Patrick, the referee, again tonight.
There were only 2 referees on this show.
How do
by
you
the-
know these things?
By the way, who's the girl collecting the wardrobe right there?
I don't know.
I want to figure that out.
You said that
Okay.
last week too, for WrestleMania 3. Who are the girls opening the ropes for the ring cards?
Yeah, I want to know who they. Well, because and by the way, we didn't even
That's right.
mention Sherry Martel.
Yes, Sarah Martel and old Professor Jump Rope himself was outside the ring for this match.
Yeah, I wonder what team he was managing.
You guys give me a.
I'm
can
just
you give me
saying,
a
this is a little
If you pay attention
spicy,
closely to the
tag team
match,
we're watching right here.
That's not the avenue. That was the avenue I go and I pulled.
Have
it
you
back
ever
Yeah, I
watched?
knew what you. I didn't want to be that guy, but I.
Because it
I
just
guess
look. I
did.
mean, the bolo tie and the.
Guys, real quick, can you give me a timestamp?
I'm at 107:38:39.
Damn it! Now I went too far.
Have you watched the Legends of Wrestling show? It was I can't remember the topic, but it was Michael Hayes. I know for a fact because he was one that said this. And they're talking about WCW around, well, it was like 92, 93, like the Bill Watts era. So before Bischoff. And they were talking about bad ideas that WCW had. And one of them, by the way, Dick Slater already has his boot off. Oh, no, it's taped up. Is it taped? Yeah, it's taped up.
Yeah.
So I thought it was bear socking it. But they were talking about like bad ideas of WCW creative. And one of them was, again, this is like 92. Keep it in perspective.
Wait.
Colonel Robert Parker bringing Harlem Heat to the ring in chains.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Where
that
did-
one.
what? Oh,
Well, I mean, outside of that, that's not even in bad. That's like
That's just terrible. I mean, what are we doing?
like Ric Flair as Spartacus. That's
Yeah.
bad. And then who was the other one? I know the ding dongs and the bell thing.
the Hunchbacks.
Oh, the hunchbacks.
you
They
couldn't
couldn't
You
get pinned.
goddamn candy man.
That's what it was. The hunchback. Yes, thank you.
See, because you can't pin him because of his hunchback.
goddamn
Wrestling
Candyman.
always seems to be behind the pop culture curve in a lot of ways. I was telling Frank this. This feels a lot like this show is like some throwaway, like poorly booked 1991 to 89 WWF.
Mm-hmm.
Best
See,
point.
if-
That's the best point. This does not feel like 95. What's it?
Well,
what's it?
and so
Is this what pay-per-view is opposite this? In Your House 4? 3?
September of '95.
Yeah, I just covered it. I think it's In Your House 3, and it's Mabel against Undertaker. I think.
Whoa.
Is this what you covered?
Wow.
You were talking about this with Steven, right?
No, we didn't even no. In Your House 3 was September 24th, 1995. It was just the other day.
Even the WWF to a certain extent, but definitely this show. And I told TJ this, but you look at sort of pop culture trends in the 90s, and especially a lot of wrestling fans have a corollary with comic books or video games, music. In particular, you're going to see a lot of rock and so on. But 92, Todd McFarlane launches Spawn. 93, DC Comics kills Superman. 93, 94, DC Comics decides to break Batman in half and relaunch him as sort of a darker version, as kind of a soft reboot. 94, the Downward Spiral comes out and The Crow comes out. 95, shortly before this, His Dark Materials drops. I mean, nihilism becomes a part of popular culture. And we have the Dungeon of Doom against Team Hogan.
That might be as good of leading into the domino effect that I was thinking of, because it had to do with pop culture. What if they had done Mortal Kombat at this time and done Glacier and done all those characters? Are they in the main event? Wait, keep in mind of how popular Mortal Kombat is at this time. They don't do it for another 18, 19 year and a half?
About
way past then too.
And people forget how Mortal Kombat the movie was super over when it came out.
And which it came out in? If they would have gone, they would have done it as RoboCop, been promoted with it. Had they just gotten that right?
So
that's
you're
my
asking
question.
me, what if they debuted Glacier here in '95?
Glacier and
Wrath.
Wrath
and Mortis. Whew. With Gary Vanderchuk.
And then you can even add, maybe they came up with one other person. I know that was a little bit of a tough hypothetical because it's 4-on-4 in the main event, right?
Huh?
What is it? How many people?
4-on-4, yeah.
Yeah, 4-on-4. So you'd have to have one more person to that.
So you'd have Glacier, Wrath, Mortis.
The popularity, and you know what? They probably, if the movie comes out, they probably pair with some guy and he's the special celebrity member of the team. While that takes away from their heel characters, but that's a huge deal. If we're all 95, we're like, wait, Mortal Kombat's going to be real live fighting on WCW? The guy that played the character, because they used actual,
right.
If anybody saw High Score,
I did.
They used
phenomenal.
Right. Yeah, they used that on the green screen.
And this is going to sound terrible, so excuse me ahead of time. But I don't know if their eyes, because obviously Eric's talked about he has since repaired his relationship with WCW and New Japan by this time. I don't know if his eyes were on Yuji Nagata in '95.
Oh my
gosh! But if you're going to do a Mortal Kombat style war games and have Wrath, Mortis, and then Glacier, if you would cast Yuji Nagata as the Liu Kang, I think that we're getting somewhere there.
Well, and to Conrad's point, because they were licensing major tunes. I mean, a little bit later, but you start licensing Metallica for Sting, and I know that's 99, 2000 when he goes to Seek and Destroy. But could you imagine had that team all come out to the Mortal Kombat theme? And Conrad's talked about this. Glacier is in any Glacier match, and I've done this, and it works. If you play the Mortal Kombat theme over a Glacier match, it's instantly 1,000% better.
Have you heard the Glacier theme? It's Mortal Kombat revved down.
Yes.
And actually, I remember too. Here in '95, WCW would have had Pat Tanaka on the roster.
What about Muda? Like, you just throw Muda.
That's,
Muda,
I was
shit.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
shit.
say I would say Muda.
Muda or
Or-
Masahiro Chono.
The list is and wait, and just so I'm clear, we are talking about same guy that wrestled Bret Hart twice at who's with all the tattoos.
Oh, you're thinking of Hakushi.
Hakushi, yeah.
Hakushi.
Hakushi. Wait, don't screw with me there, Carl. That's what I lost on the trivia.
I know, because that it screws me up in the head now too, because now I was thinking Lawler and Hakushi, and I was like, oh wait, is that right? And I was trying to think of the show. You didn't lose trivia, you won. You won. Here's your trivia
Look what's
question.
behind
Frank.
me. Look what's behind me. I did win.
You won that. Here's your trivia question. What current social media app that is a phenomenon, it's an absolute, it's taking over, was created by my uncle, Garfield Mandik, and stolen by Butch Reed?
Oh, Netflix?
Incorrect. We were looking for Dick Doc. He originally came up with Dick Doc, and it was a thing to help you go and find, the right place to get a prostate exam, stuff like that.
Oh, I just saw mini transit. Antonio's here.
Oh, yeah, he's in right at the right time. Good. We were just talking about Dick Docs. And then Butch Reed stole it, and he made it this like cool little video thing called TikTok. So
That was fantastic.
Where you guys at?
We are at
Where you at?
16, 28, 29, 30.
Did you hear the rumor that Antonio and I, actually Henry and I as well, will be having we will not be speaking in 2 weeks. It's already planned out. Week 5 of the NFL, we will not be friends, and I think I'll be trashing him on the show a lot. Just so you know.
I'll bite. Why?
Tennessee Titans versus the Buffalo Bills.
Oh Jesus!
I'm not, and in 2 weeks I refuse to. Actually, not 2 weeks.
The battle of possible wild card teams: Tennessee and Buffalo.
Well, hey, and then next week I refuse to listen to Eric Bischoff's podcast.
Why?
He's a Steelers fan.
Dollars. WA.
You have got to be kidding me.
Your commitment is astounding, Frank.
My commitment is I hate my division. That's it.
If you mean commitment delusion, then that's
it's me and Eric Bischoff are not going to be friends. And you know what? On Locked and Loaded, I'm going to tell him that to his face.
You know what? If Eric Bischoff came out tomorrow and was like, you know what? I just said I'm a huge Green Bay Packers fan. You know what I'm going to do?
Listen Eric, to 83 weeks.
Would you still like me to come to Wyoming and fondle your balls? Because I still would.
Did anybody watch the replay back of the transition between where I asked him about being a bouncer in Chicago, and he goes from that, he's like, people being thrown down flights, not a flight, flights upstairs, coke, stuff that he was scared of, into some guy who had a thicker Canadian accent, like has to drink a bottle of maple syrup a day, about trout fishing, to Frozen Eric. And it like all still meshed together somehow. Like it was the craziest up, down, like all over there type of like 5 minutes that happened in that.
It was like the Konami code as a statement of fact.
For all you video game nerds out there. Well played.
Now this was from the last Locked and Loaded?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out because I wasn't
that was not
after he'd left.
Yeah.
So
Carl had the question of the night.
I didn't get to ask a question because only 3 people did, because the first guy went 28 minutes.
Holy Lord, he did.
But
hey, whoa! I
listen, James,
and everybody's like, whoa! But yeah, he did Well, his follow up to the old like, I'm gonna quit my job and all that stuff, like that was a little weird.
Like, let me be clear. Both of his questions were very good, and the answers were very good.
Yeah.
But you went 28 minutes. Anyway, the best part, and it doesn't get talked about enough, and I hope people listen back to it and hear it, because it's probably the best joke I'm ever going to have in my life, is in the middle of the Zoom call. If you remember, Eric dropped off at like 40 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like 61 of us, I think, in the chat, and everyone's trying to figure out what happened. And I go, wait a minute, you guys. Did ad-free shows get bought out by Time Warner?
That was
good.
freaking unreal. Dude.
And the sad part was I said Time Warner. I wanted to say AOL.
Oh.
But Time Warner still works.
That would, dude, and it was dead silent, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was like so clear when it came through.
It's almost everyone's like, wait, did they? Did they buy?
What if they just spliced in a clip of the Nacho Man and Billionaire Ted and the Huckster? Like, what if that just came up on our screen after he froze? Like, if they like worked that in, we would have been
vividly remember watching those skits as a kid.
I do too. Yeah, those I remember. I don't remember Cornette's rants.
I remember watching one of them. I think he only did like 4. Oh goodness.
Yeah, that was a grown man strength right there.
Yeah, no shit. Buckhouse Buck's like, hey, you guys want to make fun of my suspenders? Watch this shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
Deadlift 275 pounds of man.
Go ahead, Antonio.
Okay. I didn't realize in 2010 he was Jack Swagger Sr.
Yeah, Buckhouse Buck would become Jack Swagger Sr. in 2010. I
did
forgot
not
about that
realize
too. Yeah, you just said it.
My gosh. I didn't even think of that.
By the way, I know I'm in the minority here. I don't think Jack Swagger was a terrible world champion.
I actually liked him as a world champ.
I did too. I thought when he turned super serious, I actually kind of liked it. But I also liked The Miz as world champion in 2009. So
Miz actually got heat.
Miz was a phenomenal world champion. His run is underrated as all get out.
Michael Cole just like added to the heat.
Absolutely. The Cole mine. Now, granted, we end up having to watch Cole and Jerry Lawler at WrestleMania, but can you guys fathom that in your mind for a minute? Jerry Lawler's top 5 all-time greatest wrestlers of all time. His one WrestleMania match, and he's been with the company now for 27 years.
With
Any
fucking Michael
jobs.
Cole.
Is Michael Cole. He jobs to Michael Cole in his one WrestleMania match. What are we doing?
That card in general, excluding one match, if there's any one WrestleMania that now in hindsight being 2020, you would say, I'm good. Would it be that? Would it be 11? Would it be
9?
Oh, 9 would have been awesome. Outdoors in Vegas would have been awesome.
So what are you asking me right now? To be there
okay.
Like if we could get rid of one, or if I had to be there,
okay, Miz Cena DQ main event.
Was that the same show as Lawler Cole?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and then like the only thing I could think on there is Triple H and Undertaker.
No wonder why everyone hates that show, because we had to watch Lawler and Cole.
Yeah,
Was that the one with the plexiglass that Triple H puts Taker through the
Coleman
thing that Cole had built?
Yes, I forgot about that too. I forgot about that whole show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're about to have a double manager turn, and Sherry Martel is walking as only she can.
We're about to have some banging here in the second ring.
Oh, what?
Pornhub broke out.
He's getting her from right there, though, right?
Colonel Parker just hopped the rope.
And Nick Jackson's like, what the fuck is going on
here?
Careful,
don't get too close. Oh my gosh. She could have gotten, that would have been a pool cue to the eye.
I'm pretty sure we are watching people contract HPV in real time.
Nasty boys, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, I forgot the Nasty Boys interfered in this match.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So we got to watch.
Oh, you guys are ahead of me now.
We got to watch, like,
I'm
still watching it.
I'm at 24, 21, 22.
Is she drawing the lipstick on him?
23. Wait, where are you guys at? I'm at 20.
Oh, I'm sorry.
28.
24, 28, 29, 30.
30. Okay,
31.
they're making it.
So we had watched, and now we're watching I don't even know what you would call this.
Booker T and Stevie Ray look very confused, like they weren't in on the fact that Robert Parker is about to be part of their management team.
A Viagra commercial come to life. And then the Nasty Boys interfered on behalf of Harlem Heat. And now Sherry's like, oh, no, it's all part of the plan, guys. I'm a whore. Didn't you know that?
Guys, we have to make the next town Pity City. Let's go. What is happening?
In all seriousness, Sherry
What
Martel.
do you care what I did? We have the titles now. Let's get the hell out of here.
Are you? By the way, James, are you okay over there? I just checked up on that Texas score.
Oh, I mean,
It's early.
Like 10 minutes left.
Could you imagine Sherry Martel today?
I'm telling you.
With Charlotte
as
and
a
Becky
wrestler
Lynch
or a
and
manager?
Sasha as a wrestler.
On her personality.
She'd be instant main event.
They don't have anybody from that era even.
Same thing with Luna Vachon, by the way.
Yeah, that's why, like, when I saw Serena Deeb against Thunder Rosa, I thought it was a big deal. It felt like, oh, that's cool to see. And I get it. Like, we've seen what's her face with Mickey James with Alexa Bliss, but like, go down the limited list. Elizabeth, Luna,
all dead so far.
Sunny locked up, Sable locked up too in Saskatchewan.
Wow.
He's on the prison farm in North Dakota.
Yeah.
No, they're way.
They're in Canada. That's right.
No, they're 100 miles north of Winnipeg.
He's in the territories, right?
He's like he's not
the
even
Northwest
in
territories. Yeah,
he's not even in one of the Providence. However you say it.
Providence, Rhode Island.
Providence.
Roll Tide on that.
Shout out to Frank Bruno. Oh, and this is the I'll get you, boys, another title shot. I'm the best promoter with my chub in the world.
Why is he not? Yeah, he's definitely going to fix his pants.
He's trying to hide the semi he's got.
Yeah.
I never would have saw that coming, too.
So, real quick, you guys can hear me again, right? You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We can hear you now.
So, I figured out that when a seventh person enters, my audio goes wacky and I have to go to my phone.
Really?
Oh.
What?
It's weird. So when Antonio entered, I couldn't reply to anything. I could still hear you.
So stupid.
He's in Westerly.
Whatever.
Be nice to Providence.
What is that schmutz on Gene Okerlund's arm?
What is that?
It's got to be from Sherry's mascara or something.
I wonder if
like
it's a promo. Like the inker, the marker ran.
Oh.
I don't know what else it'd be. Because Sherry was wearing red lipstick.
If that was on Tony's cuff, he'd be getting ripped apart on that show for it. Be like, what was on your hand? What was on your hand? Caption this. It would be, oh, I love this Halloween Havoc.
You guys, are you aware that next month, almost every poll we're going to do is going to be either Halloween Havoc or October. So it would be Bad Blood 97. There's a good chance that's going to get brought up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're going to get to watch a lot of good shows next month.
Bad Blood was the last pay-per-view before the Montreal Screwjob, right?
Yes, it was. And also the last Dave Meltzer 5-star match until 2010 in the WWE, which is absolutely
stupid.
Even
with that shit.
What match was
that bullshit?
What's the Bad Blood with the Nash and Triple H with Foley as the guest referee in the cell?
That 03.
2003.
Wasn't that, if memory serves me right, wasn't that the pay-per-view that right after that, the next night, Triple H has to defend his title against a world champion, and he picks Ric Flair in what
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
arguably
right.
is one of the greatest Ric Flair matches.
That was the bloody. That was the bloody
Post-WCW.
promo. Yeah, that was the bloody promo.
How you remember anything from?
He got busted open during the Shawn match, right? Rick does.
He get busted open over almost every match.
That's what.
I'm pretty sure you touch his forehead wrong, and he's gonna start bleeding.
Well, but that's an era where Shawn bleeds like crazy.
Yeah.
Like 0203 Shawn Michaels, he bleeds a lot.
Yeah, him in the Hunter Street fight when he came back, Lord.
I mean,
There you go.
how about-
Double
around that same time too, Eddie bleeding against JBL.
That was 04.
That was a brutal match right there.
Seriously.
What's causing all this?
Does anybody know why? What the storyline was behind this? Why?
So
We're
the
seeing
match,
it right here live.
the match they're showing here, there's going to be a handicap match on a WCW Saturday Night's Main Event. It's going to be Arn and Rick against Vader. And I think for some weird reason, Rick
Where are they outdoors?
this is Bash at the Beach 95.
Oh, that was Bash at the Beach 95? Okay.
Yeah.
That I remember.
This
I remember
match here.
Venice.
So whatever reason, Arn takes the pin, and Arn, or maybe Rick blames Arn of not pulling his weight. And then Arn essentially, bitch slaps him and then sets him straight. And now it's becoming a conversation. Who's the better man between Arn and Rick? Arn trying to step out of the shadow of Ric Flair. And just that after a few weeks, Arn's going to kind of babyface him here in this match they're showing with the Patriot and Buff Bagwell, Sergeant Stripes. And he's not going to let Rick cheat. And they end up losing the match. And that's kind of what starts the match. And then it's who's the better man, Arn or Ric Flair? That's kind of the whole point of the match.
Okay. How about that picture?
Yeah,
Megan.
no doubt. So this is where
Okay.
Arn would not cheat for Rick.
So I don't want anybody to give away the answers because I've never seen this match, but I think the common I've never seen this or the main event. So the common narrative that you hear often is that all Ric Flair matches are essentially the same. It's the
This
same
one's
bumps.
not.
Ah, damn it! That's what I didn't want you to tell me if it was going to be the same or not. I was just
No.
like, don't. Who the hell is that?
That's Aaron Anderson.
Oh, it's his wife. All right. The other thing I was going to say is,
I wonder what kind of convincing it took to
who
get
the
him
hell's
to do
this
that.
stick man?
I don't know who that is.
I really wanted to ask Arn, since we got on the topic of blading last time on the last Ask Arn, there's a Jake the Snake, Steve Austin early era pod that Austin did where they talk about how it's when you blade, like number one, they were talking about how they all had their favorite brands of razor blades. And then apparently Jake claims that you can hear the skin pop when you blade.
Where I think more importantly is where you keep it. The fact that some guys still today on the indies cheek it is beyond me.
Like Tully, that's bananas.
But no, like young guys.
But
Like,
that's what I mean. It's just crazy.
Why would you cheek it out of any place?
Just
I'm personally am a fan of the Triple H Ric Flair tape every finger up. They can't tell which one it is.
It's unbelievable. I've never understood.
Did you
that.
say cheek it, like ass cheek it?
No?
No,
Oh God, no!
in their mouth.
in your gum.
Oh, okay. All
They
right.
put
All
their
right, all right,
razor
all right.
blades
That's
up their
insane.
butthole where they have all the control.
They just go like grind on them to slice them. It's time for the steak phase.
Why is there
Guys,
a pool
don't
of blood
worry.
in the
I
ring?
have some absurd rectum control. Don't worry. It's going to be fine.
We're going to go back to Todd Pettengill with an update. Well, apparently after that atomic drop, Kama Mustafa has died. The razor blade was in his ass the entire time. No, seriously, if it was kept there, you would legitimately
Sphincter laceration. You
Well,
bleed
even
out.
if they were able to wrestle part of the match and then get it out successfully and then perform the cut, the other guy is going to get dysentery.
And he's digging in his ass. He's
It's
digging
the goddamn
in his
Oregon
ass.
Trail of blade jobs.
I was going to say, yeah. We're sponsored by Karate Fight. Not Karate Fighters, Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail.
Oh, Bobby Eaton's died from the dysentery.
We played, by the way, when we talk about first player shooter games before, my dad's where he was a firefighter, they had it there, like a lot of porno mags, and they had Doom and Wolfenstein on regular computer.
Classics.
Like the original, yeah, but the flop. I mean, when I got there, I didn't care about like nothing else interests me. I'm like, can I go and play that? But really, first player shooter game was Oregon Trail. Like I wanted to play that to hunt down the buffalo
all the time.
Well, I mean, I duck hunt, yes, but like we were at school and we're like, hey, I'm gonna get to that line was long. I just remember like because we went from Reader Rabbit to Oregon Trail and you could shoot things. Awesome.
You can tell Carl's from the Midwest.
Shot all them buffalo
That's
and
right.
managed to get to Nevada. You're almost to Oregon, and you die of dysentery.
The Oregon Trail, the word chompers.
The word chompers.
And then there was like we had like a truck driving game. You had to go to different cities. How you learn geography? You had to go to different cities.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, what about the thing where you had to connect all the different like widgets or make the ball go from the like you had the gear pulley system that went to the thing that dropped the ball.
Man,
you remember that on
Mousetrap?
Yeah, I had friends in college that played that a bunch.
Mousetrap?
Because I played Line Rider a lot. I thought Line Rider was really cool. They played that like I can't remember.
I fucking love this music.
Dude, does anybody remember Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh yes.
I love that show.
My one goal as a kid was to be on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
Dude, the
God,
opening.
run across that big map?
Yes, with the giant street lights.
Oh.
Anybody ideas for openings for the show? Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Yeah, Steve, you in the back. What do you got? Barbershop Quartet. Good. We'll go with that. Meeting over. Let's go. Wrap it up. Happy hour, everybody. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Yep, they're good. Sign out.
I love that show.
Yeah, I know it was awesome.
All timer. Someone stole the Golden Gate Bridge. Where'd they go?
I forget about like things that impacted me of why I like wrestling, and I would say because we moved out to the suburbs from the city, and I had no friends. I remember being about 4.5, going on 5, and the Impact Nickelodeon and Double Dare, Legends of Hidden Temple, Wild and Crazy Kids, Nick Arcade, Hey Dude, all those shows had on
Salute
me.
your shorts.
Salute your shorts. I have both seasons.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, hey, dude. It's a little ride in a little old place. No. I should not be able to know that theme song. No, I have both seasons of Salute Your Shorts on my iPhone. I shouldn't have that. I love that show.
Tremendous show.
Wild and Crazy Kids.
I can't tell you
By
how
the way,
hard.
Donkey Lips.
Yeah.
Good. Can we talk about that?
I cannot tell you how hard I marked out when Donkey Lips was on Dude, Where's My Car?
He is. He's in that cult.
I freaked out on the show. I'm like, oh my God, that's Donkey Lips.
American
Who was
males.
that one actor that wore that
American
one
males.
like a mask thing who kind of acted like the ghost or whatever that was haunting the woods? That one kind of famous actor, but there was like 3 episodes where he wore like that disfigured face, like monster.
Oh, the plumber, Zeke the plumber.
Who was like? What's the name of the famous actor guy that played him?
Eddie Guerrero with his.
Yep.
I'm talking about on
brother.
Switch Stores.
Or yeah. Wait. he had
Dick Dancer. We got the Dick Dancer.
Dick
Yeah,
the
Dick,
plumber.
and we had American Males.
Dick Dancer.
American Whales.
Nobody
American
cares
Whales.
about Buff Bagwell.
I mean, Baby Dick on Showtime.
Dude, I can't believe he's still an angel. Do you guys think that? How about? I won't get into that. The stealing of the money at Starcade story. Is that real?
Well, I mean,
I'm looking up Zeke the plumber. So
he is having sex for money with octogenarians on camera.
wait, what are we doing?
He's on Cowboys and Angels.
Oh, Buff
I'm
Bag.
sorry. I just heard sex for money. What are we talking about?
With octogenarians.
I'm gonna be 100%.
What the hell's an octogenarian?
Somebody over the.
What are you people talking about?
Oh my word!
Speaking of which, Frank, did you go to one of those houses in Red Dead?
What did you say?
Speaking of that, did you go to one of those houses at Red Dead?
Yeah, we need to talk about that. So
No, you need counseling right now.
some of us,
Yeah, I think that our 4 or 5 of us currently, 5 of us are currently playing Red Dead, I believe.
yes.
Is that
So
right?
myself, Henry, Matt Levitt, Phil Jackson, and Antonio are all playing Red Dead 2. And
Frank, you have it, right? Have you started?
I don't have it. A friend has it, and he told me he would loan it to me so I could play with you guys. But I don't have 100 hours. It's
You don't
very
have to
hard
do
for
it
me
in a row.
to do it.
No, just break it up.
Yeah, but like, I do want to put. But what am like? You guys are all chatting about it right now. Like,
Yes. So
like,
we're
sometimes you're, like-
replaying it from the beginning, and we're posting our progress on Twitter, which all of our
Just-
Twitter handles
just-
will be on the show beforehand.
Marvelous.
As we were discussing this show and the game in general, Frank was like, I only play GTA 5 because I can
boy.
beat up some hookers,
well, no.
which
I
is an
fucking
odd
envy
thing
them.
to say. And then we were
It's a
like,
joke.
oh, there might be like, 1890s women of the night in Red Dead Redemption. And he's like, can I beat him?
That's called a concubine.
Yeah. So now I'm like, Frank, we might need to discuss your irrational hatred of the working industry.
And by the way, and anybody that thinks they can beat up a hooker, here's the deal with that. See in Vegas, if you think that you even can take one on, good luck, because there's going to be a John with a sock full of hot pennies around the corner waiting for you to club you in the face with. So it doesn't happen. That is no knock on you, Frank. I'm just saying.
A
Fun
sock
fact
full of hot
about-
pennies.
Fun fact, we had a stiletto heels classified as a dangerous or deadly weapon in the state of Kansas. There's a Supreme Court case that went up because a stripper stabbed a guy in the head with one of her stilettos.
Wait, was it at don't tell me, was it in Salina at the oh, don't tell me the name. I went there a
It was
bunch.
Michelle's in Derby.
Oh, never mind. Never went there. The only one I went to, what's the one in Salina that everybody knows?
Oh, it's right off the interstate too. I know where you're at.
Wild Wild
Right off
West?
70. Huh?
Is Wild Wild West? What is the name of it?
Yes. Yeah, that's it. It's the Wild Wild
It's
West.
actually
Wild
it
Wild
is
West?
no, it's actually like back in my day when you used to go and James,
Back in my day.
when we used to go, no, James, this is something for Florida. When I was like the girl I was dating, when I moved to Florida, I started dating a girl with like in the first month, and we were done with like our third date, and she's like, "Oh, do you want to keep on drinking? It's last call," and it's 2 a.m. I'm like, "There's nowhere to go." She's like, "Yeah, we just go to the strip clubs," and I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Because they'll keep serving until like 4.
Mhm.
Yeah, West Palm Beach. So, Spearmint Rhino, Sapphires, Jasmine, and
Experiment Rhino is a strip joint.
no,
What
Spearmint,
clientele does that
Spearmint.
get?
Oh,
Spearmint,
very
not
very
experiment.
high. There's only 3 of them: West Palm Beach, Vegas, and
The Spearmint Rhino.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Spearmint,
Vegas
it
one's
is-
like the best strip club in the world.
And of course,
it's one of the
South Park has the Peppermint Rhino.
yeah, it's one of the and no joke. It's one of the best in the. It's only up there. The only 2 that are better in James' neck of the woods go south down into Fort Lauderdale, Tootsie's or Scarlett's. One of them is a former Home Depot where, no joke, the pole goes from the ceiling to the bottom, and I'm not even joking you. It's like not to bastardize our adolescent years. It's like, do you remember DZ Discovery Zone when we were watching some? Yeah, it's like Discovery Zone for dudes. It's like, whoa, she's like, whoa, like all the way down the pole. Like, it's like unbelievable.
You know what? I need some elbow joints for my plumbing and some angle iron, and I want to see some nipples.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a former Home Depot. Yeah, they just cleared it out. That's how big that place is.
So the best one in
So I
Wichita,
gotta
the
tell
one
you,
that Harrison Ford really likes, got shut down. It got raided. So fun fact, Harrison Ford likes to come to Wichita, Kansas to get his plane serviced. That's not a euphemism. He actually brings his private jet in order to get it serviced down here.
When he doesn't wreck them.
When he doesn't wreck them, of course, yes. And to do his pilot certifications. And he used to be a big purveyor of Jezebels until it got shut down for running drugs out of it.
Oh, man, Jezebels. What year was that?
So I got to tell you, I've never been to a strip joint in my life.
What?
Really?
That is a fact, Frank Bruno.
Well, I can tell you at your age.
They're not the most impressive thing. The beer is hellaciously overpriced. I mean,
It's absurd.
and it's really not like, I mean, porn's free and the beer's overpriced. Like, it's cool if you want to be there. Maybe not touch them, you know, unless you go upstairs and all that stuff. But, I mean, it's just you just kick it there. It stinks. There's a lot of traveling workers. And, you know, it's all like there's a lot of,
Well, you're not selling it well right now.
If you go to a big one, that's a different story. But I'm saying, like, these little podunk, like, you know, you ain't missing much. If you want to go to one, go to, like, a big city one.
I remember when I was stationed in Virginia, I turned 22, and the guys I worked with in the shop were like, "Hey, we're gonna take you to a strip club this weekend," and I'm 22, so I'm like, "Okay." So we go to this strip club in Norfolk, Virginia, and we were there for 4 hours, and I was made aware beforehand they're non-alcoholic strip. So I was already not interested, but I had to go because that's where they're taking me. So I'm drinking like orange popsicles melted down and called orange juice, and watching. But they did not tell me they were in Virginia. They're non-nude. So I'm watching girls in the bikinis for 4 hours, and then we leave, and they're like, "Hey, how was that?" They go, "Hey, how?" And now, mind you, I've grown up around Platinum Plus and Dream Girls are on two separate floors of the same building of each other. And I go to this place, and hey, what was it like? And I go, well, that was great. I just thought it was weird that nobody got naked. Like, do they have, like, confidence issues? Or, like, why does no one get naked there? And
Do they have confidence issues?
I'd say if you're working at a strip club, that's pretty much sailed.
But they were like, no, it's Virginia. Like, you can't get nude at a bar in Virginia. I go, what?
That's one of the more interesting state-by-state laws of, is there alcohol served? Can you wear pasties? Can you do this? Can you do that? Matt, it's like all over the place, is it not? Why is that it's state-by-state? And also, for anybody wondering in Vegas, just on flip side of that, everybody says, oh, well, prostitution's legal there. No. Outside at the brothels in Clark County, the Strawberry Patch, where like Lamar Odom almost died. Yes, you can pay for services. Prostitution's not legal. The other thing is, if you live in Las Vegas, they will not dance for you, come up to you. They don't want your money. You have to have an out-of-state ID. Strippers don't want that. They want the out-of-state money.
When I first pitched Levitt's Legal Lariat, I never imagined he would be expressing the law of prostitution.
But, well, no, not prostitution.
This is becoming my favorite part, the legal area.
Yeah, yeah. This is gonna be like a Stan Hansen, I'm blind, you're dead type of area. But no, it is kind of crazy per state.
Well, so it's not just per state. It's actually it ends up becoming per county and per city. Every state has, generally speaking, is going to have its written law, so it's state statute, and then generally speaking, each individualized municipality can regulate to the level of the law and then beyond. So, for instance, take Wichita, for instance, Sedgwick County can regulate to the level of the law and then can actually exceed that if they so choose. And in some cases, if the state statute is silent on the issue, you'll have to fill in the gap somewhere with municipal ordinances and or county ordinances. So it's just an example of where we're at, bureaucratically speaking, as a country. But it ends up being sort of the folks that are boots on the ground end up creating the law as it pertains to those issues. So, and you'll typically see them as
When
was that?
When you said county by county, that's why I didn't understand why they could be open till 4 serving alcohol, and those bars had to shut down.
It goes back to the county ordinance more than likely in the case of Florida. And again, I'm not licensed to practice in Florida, but my guess is that either the state law allows some sort of an exemption for what is typically, like in Kansas, for instance, we classify them as, quote, burlesque clubs.
Right.
So what my guess is that there's probably something in the Florida statute that specifically allows, or it's one of those blind spots in the law. So someone has found a clever loophole within the blind spot to classify themselves as X, and because they're classified as X and not classified as a bar, they get to serve until close as opposed to having a firm cutoff.
Now, when you say county by county, is this relevant or connected? Like where I went to college at Ball State was in Delaware County, in Muncie, Indiana, and it was considered a brothel if 10 or more girls lived together. Hence, they had to have complexes, apartment complex floors with different rooms so that the sororities could stay together instead of having sorority houses. Does that fall under the same type?
That could be by state, or it could be by county.
That was definitely county, because they had sorority houses in Lafayette or in Bloomington, Indiana.
So yeah, then that's going to be a county-specific situation where Delaware County has passed something. And it, the crazy thing is, you look back at the genesis of some of these laws, and you'll have things that predate the 1900s in some cases, where a county is established and they'll have some ordinance that's in place clear back to the 1800s or the early 1900s, where, say, a cattle town, for instance, take Wichita again, Delano, just across the river. Karl, I know you're familiar with that area.
Oh, yeah.
That used to be a big, it's now an arts and entertainment district, but back in the 1900s, when Wichita was a cow town, it was a brothel district. So some of the ordinances and some of the state statute that were put into place in order to combat that and to regulate that, they don't really necessarily address the current situation. We have laws that have never been repealed that go clear back to the 1900s.
Is it frustrating for you in that line of work?
There's a lot of stuff that goes by the wayside and is never actually enforced because, I think that law enforcement and I think that the county authority or the city authority knows that if there was ever a direct constitutional challenge, it would be overturned. For instance, you mentioned the sorority houses having to do this apartment style living in that particular county. My guess is that if they actually started up a sorority house and just did it, even if they were cited, women get an intermediate scrutiny analysis under the law. So within the Supreme Court, they're quote unquote semi-protected class. They probably should be more than that, but that's what the Supreme Court has labeled them as previously. And as a result, they get intermediate scrutiny, which is a heightened level of scrutiny, which means that government interest must significantly outweigh the right of the individual in order to justify it. And if they're not actively running a brothel, if the intent of the law is infringing on individuals' general liberties and freedoms, then I think it would probably not pass intermediate scrutiny. It would be ultimately struck down as a result. So you'll see a lot of instances where you'll have laws in existence, but you'll never get a ticket or a citation for it.
Funny you mentioned that, because my senior year sorority did just that. And they started their own sorority house at the coolest house that everybody wanted. It had a grass tennis court in the back. Which was amazing, right? Super pinky in the air. And they did just that, and they're like, challenge us. And they are still up and running. So
where's this at? Arizona State?
Ball State. Delaware.
Sorry, guys. I probably lost the room a little bit.
No, you had me the entire time.
That was deep down the rabbit hole.
Very Arizona State-ish.
No, that was actually really interesting. It's interesting to hear those things sometimes, honestly. I
found that very enjoyable. I'm still back at the part way back when we were still in Vegas, when Karl was talking about the women walking the street, about how if you did the wrong thing, you'd get beaten with a sock full, I think you said, hot pennies.
That is correct.
That's
And I'm
Frank
still
Bruno.
wondering how in the
No.
world you could possibly know that.
Okay. All right. Well,
Here we go.
no, this is no. This isn't even. So look up Crazy Horse 2 in Vegas and find out about the case. They so they're open 24/7 in Vegas, and it was not uncommon and again, we get back, it's odd that we're making a full circle because this got brought up last week about how good the food was, why I want to go to Atlanta, because I want to go be like Lemon Pepper Lou.
Oh, the lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, and go to Magic City for those, wings. So a girl sat with some out-of-towners, and they were like, this happened at this Vegas strip club, and they were sitting there from about 5 a.m. till I'm going to say 10, and they get done, and she's like, well, you just got to pay me for your time. And they're like, what are you talking about? We told you no on a dance. We told you no on, we bought you some drinks, but we thought you were just kicking it with us. So they're like, no, we're not paying you. Like, it was like, I'm going to say the bill was like $5,000 or something like that. And these guys had it because they had been like partying, like they had the money, but out of principle, they were like, no. Well, they left one of the guys as a quadriplegic on the train tracks. The bouncers took this guy out and beat the shit out of him. So like it became a message to the rest of the city that you will get the hell beaten out of you if you do not go by the rules of, and it became a big case. I say the same thing for prostitutes and Johns, because there's always some dude behind them waiting to like sucker punch you if you don't pay up or give a little bit extra. And I meant it like jokingly, but there was some truth laced in there.
So how this conversation got started was we saw Buff Bagwell in the audience.
I was just laughing at Frank's face when I put that picture up.
No, I love that one. What is that from?
I think it's when they did a tour in Australia.
If you're watching the video feed, like you can only see us as we're talking, but I can see everyone's face above the screen, and I can tell you for absolute certainty that when Karl said, sock full of hot pennies, I saw Frank's face like, wait, you can beat hookers that way?
Dude, and that night, oh my gosh, I remember it like I tangibly feel it. I remember our news director putting fair face plant. Vince hated that, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
That's why Flair did it as much as he did, because he knew he hated it.
I love that he did it as much as he did too. No, I remember it was the same night as the Democratic debate in Vegas at the Aria, or excuse me, no, it was at the Wynn. Hold on, is he gonna go? Yeah, oh man, he got him pretty far. I love that knee drop
Right across the throat.
Yeah, I love that.
Over
He's one of the
under
best sellers of all time. He is one of the best sellers of all time.
Under Flair's successful top rope maneuvers, 5.5 for his career.
Well, we know the one against Sean, and we know the one against Carlito.
I would double hit something, whatever you call it. I'm not a gambler, but I would double on under.
I'm going under also.
I would double under, like
including house shows?
Whatever.
So essentially a 45-year career, we're going under 5.5 successful top rope.
The fact that I can
only flip question, over under on the top rope slams.
Oh, it's like 6,000.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I'm pretty sure Earthquake had more successful top rope maneuvers than Ric Flair.
I can only name the two that worked where he actually reversed it or did something different. Again,
there was
last match against HBK and Carlito.
There was a Jim Crockett Promotions title defense. I can't remember against who. He did have one. So I know of at least 3. And that's what's funny. He's wrestled for 45 years. I can name you 3 times. Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that fun?
successful top rope maneuver.
We can look at somebody's career and call him the GOAT, and they're like, oh yeah, but those 3 times.
Dude,
He
I remember
actually,
all 3 of them.
you know, like isn't that ironic in our brain?
Well, you know, he got top rope slammed about 15,000 times.
But let's
That's the
think about
greatest.
that for a minute. As silly as that seems, and it is absurdly silly. Flair was only successful at the top rope a handful of times.
Oh,
We
that looked
remember
painful.
almost each time.
And when does the Undertaker miss on walking the ropes?
But when he does, you remember it. So when JR always stresses less is more. It's a
Yeah,
prime
like
example.
don't wrestle Goldberg in a fucking 100 degrees.
Well, there's that. But when or at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But when
Definitely don't call a super kick spot.
Yeah, oh Lord. Was that you that sent us to earlier? I don't appreciate that. But
Hey,
when,
well, you know, like when the Godwin like lifted up, I don't know if it was Booker T or Steve Ray, and we were like, oh, grown man strength. Then when Taker and Goldberg kind of went through their little like, and he tried to grown man strength him, but he's like, grown man, and maybe didn't have the strength.
yeah, right.
That was sad because you know back in the day, Goldberg would have been able to like recover and do it, but
He did it to who was the guy he had like half down and got back up, like just muscled him back up and jackhammered him. Like Van Hammer.
All right, real
And
quick,
then
Antonio,
Pillman
who the hell
punches
is
him.
number 7?
Oh, remember Cairo Santos last year?
Oh,
kicker.
that asshole. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys
that's
have
why I
your
don't
own
remember
discussion
him.
going on, and I don't appreciate
Wait,
Hold on a second.
Cairo Santos is a Bill?
No, he was a Titan that missed like 4 field goals against us last year.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah,
Double A just got the
thank you.
win.
So guys,
Pillman
while I have
didn't
your
have-
attention, I just
The
I
greatest
just wanna-
match
before-
in WCW history just ended. And
What?
we're talking about a place kicker
Wait.
for the Tennessee
We're talking
Titans.
about Cairo Santos.
Well, hold on. Wait, Henry, this is the best match in.
Okay, maybe that was hyperbole. This was the best
No, it
match in
could have
the
been.
pay-per-view.
I mean, it could have
best
been.
match on the card. Best match on the
It
card.
very
Well, hold
easily
on.
could have been.
I just wanna just public service announcement. I don't hate hoes. I just like to
It's too
go
late for that.
and pick them up. I just like to go to pick them up in my car in GTA. I like to watch the car bounce up and down.
I'm
and then
glad
when they
you made
get
that
out,
distinction.
I wish you would have
I
left
get
that
out of the
preposition
car
at.
and I beat them up and get my money back. That's all
What he
I'm saying.
means is,
And
I'd like to pick them up
and listen,
in my Ford Escape in real life.
I drive a
Dodge Stratus.
souped up. I drive a souped up Toyota Camry 2020.
It's an unlit
please-
overpass. And I
Please
know who
clarify
that is.
souped up.
I'm an unlit overpass. And I have a new
business.
business. TJ, I got a new business plan now. I'm gonna start a strip club called Confidence Issues,
Oh my God.
and the guys are gonna go in
Is it gonna be dads
and
only?
they're gonna
'Cause that's what it should be.
cheer them
Oh,
on
God.
to take out their titties. They're gonna cheer them on to take out their titties. That's what it's gonna be.
And they
They're
can
gonna
have
walk
like,
out all shy. They have confidence issues, and then boom, they're out.
maybe
Hey,
like
that's a good idea because you make them earn it. Like, oh, I'm not showing them unless you throw.
Right,
So
right.
there's like, if you want
Right,
to see them,
right.
hey,
so
flip the
and-
game on them.
Right.
Flip the game on them.
and
By the
what
way,
you-
I'm sure we're missing an absolute drop dead promo from Kevin
You-
Sullivan right now.
Oh,
you
hell,
could.
CGI is great too.
Oh my.
From who?
So
Who?
what you
Kamala
could do,
wore that mask?
Frank, what you could do, is everybody loves a good story and a good, underdog Rocky type of thing. So I think right before their music hits, Titantron wise, when the girls come out at
Titantron at the club.
yeah, some like backstory, like I had
The
confidence.
most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I don't know. My idea of doing split decision in New Orleans of women
I don't
on
like where
one
this is
side,
going.
guys on the other, but it kind of crisscrosses and you get so drunk. There's bars or there's like places to take shots in between. You don't know where you're gonna end up, and then you're like, oh no! And then you gotta like get to the other side. It's like a maze. It's a strip club idea. But anyways,
What is Antonio doing?
So, but no, Frank, it's important to give background story. Like the girl should be like, hey, I'm Scarlett, and now I've got a C-section scar like that thick.
Wow.
That's why I had, confidence issues.
Wow.
Hear the music. Girls, girls, girls. Comes
You were
energy, and then money is flying.
Dude, I got a great. Oh my god, I can't believe I've never told you guys this story. I have a great strip club story.
Hit it.
Antonio, what in God's name are you doing?
Yeah,
She's trying to antagonize you, I
OJ
think.
Samosin from the other night?
Huh?
Were you OJ Samosin the other day?
Oh, that guy. That guy. Hijacking the Bischoff show. If I see Virgil one more time, I'm going to throw him out the roof of my house.
But anyway, one time I was at this strip club and I knew the stripper, and she was like, "Hey, what do you?" I was like, "Oh, I love Led Zeppelin." She's like, "Oh, I got a Led Zeppelin for you," and I'm not even kidding you. She walks out the strip to Stairway to Heaven. I'm
Nice.
not kidding you.
Nice.
Was it
9
good?
minutes,
Is
huh?
it-
No. No, think about the logistics of this. Like, it's really quiet. Yeah, I mean that's not an arousing time.
I feel like that's like going to Bohemian Rhapsody, like almost.
It's
my friend Chuck.
Just what you want, a stripper referencing Mama.
Yes.
Just
Several times. Please. My buddy Chuck I used to live with took me to a strip club in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is almost Ohio,
Wait.
called the Pyramid Club.
Not
And his girlfriend's stripper at the time. So this is how he wanted me to meet her. We were going to go to the Pyramid Club while she was stripping. And we went there, and it was like a Friday or Saturday. There was no one in this place. And it was really nice. Like, they had 2 levels. There was pool tables and, decent seating areas. Like, it was a pretty nice club. And we're like an hour and a half in, and I'm like, dude, I'm assuming, like, this is just, like, the spot to go in Fort Wayne. Like, I hadn't put 2 and 2 together yet. And I was like, I thought I was meeting your girlfriend here, and now we're sitting around the stage. I thought we were meeting your girlfriend. It's like, she is. She's right there.
Oh.
And I look on the stage, and she's already half naked. She sits down, wraps her legs around the back of my head, and does that certain thing they do. And I've never had my hands so far away from the rest of my body as I did then. Because my friend Chuck was a 285-pound bodybuilder. And I'm a 200-pound not bodybuilder. Oh, Music City Miracle. Very cute. Very cute.
I did legitimately date a stripper when I was in West Palm Beach, only because we connected. She's like, this is the most lonely business ever. I have no friends. Frank's back.
I had to get him back.
How'd you did y'all rearrange it? How'd that rearrange all this?
No, Frank is hijacking the show.
No.
What did I do?
I mean, pick a better team than the
Carl's
Titans.
talking, all of a sudden I'm looking at Frank Wycheck throwing
Never
a forward
mind.
lateral.
Wait.
Forward lateral.
Hey, here's my ad-free show's testimonial. Oh my God, you get to meet people from all walks of life, like people that like the Titans and the Bills, and talk about the Titans and the Bills
all day.
You just get to meet all sorts of people.
God, let it go. It was 2000.
Let it go.
By the way, the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl January 26, 1986.
I just want to interrupt Carl. Check that score real quick, bud.
I know. I've been waiting to chime in, dude. I'm watching this 50. There's a 56-56 Texas.
They were down
Tech,
15 at like 2.5 minutes,
and there's 40 seconds
I
left.
think I know where that schmutz on Mean Gene suit came from.
My phone was blowing up. I don't know if y'all could hear it. My phone was fucking blowing up, and I had to tell my friend, like, "Hey, I'm doing something right now." Like,
look
hang
at
up. You know?
What is Jimmy Hart wearing? Like,
yes.
Oh,
yes.
God Almighty!
By the way, time code 20853.
Yep.
5455.
This is okay. So if I was doing a group Halloween costume,
this is it.
This is it. Frank already knows mine. So for spin the wheel, make the deal. I've never seen this. Macho Man Wow.
Apparently, I'm the
That's-
only one in the group that can grow a beard, so I'm Randy Savage.
Which one of these don't belong? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, the Macho Man face paint's a little too Mizark Henry for me.
I would say
pretty
three
sure
of
that's
these
where
people,
that
three of these
stuff on
people are
Gene
like
Suit comes
all-time
from.
great. Well, 5 of these people really are all-time greats, and then there's one guy like, God damn, look at his body though.
Who are you dumping on? You dumping on Luger?
Oh, you know who I'm dumping on.
I don't know, but
I think
Luger is my first. See, I have a skewed vision of Luger and Yokozuna. Like it's my first wrestling lucid. I know that it's the first time I ever saw it was that USS Intrepid. Oh my
Jimmy
lord!
Hart looks like Make-A-Wish like thing.
Mean Gene is just like, what in the fuck is happening?
Jimmy
right
Hart
now?
looks like he wanted to make a wish, and they let him come into this.
Yeah, I don't think Lex Luger is out of place here.
How
I think he fits
much?
But it's like 1, 2, 3 are pretty close, and it's good. Maybe not at this time.
I think in
maybe I'm doing a
WCW
legacy thing, but maybe not at this time. But this is definitely a gap between.
I think in
1, 2, 3, and
WCW,
4.
Luger fits in that. If this was WWF the year before, Luger doesn't fit in there.
Yeah, look at Mean Gene. He's got crap all over his suit. He's got green face paint. He's got.
I'm telling you, it came from the Macho Man Randy Savage. Did anybody see how?
Yeah, but like, why would that come earlier with that?
Maybe they taped
They
it earlier in
fucking
the
topped out
day.
the end of my sleeves. They fucking scuffed their war
that's
paint
true.
on
They
me.
would.
Frank,
Fuck,
if
you're
I
not
had
gonna
to
get
look
away
at Blood
fair.
Grant
We're about
one
to
more
Tony
time.
and Bobby.
No, you're right. They would shoot it before. That wouldn't be live, especially that one, because everybody looked like they had just gotten a hose of Ritalin, and and when Jimmy Hart's the least cartoonish of them. I mean, you got guys like they were like the bushwhackers right there. They were like.
Didn't you hear them say or read
Competitors.
with the closed captioning that they were they just finished drinking a gallon of napalm?
Or
That's what they
Agent
said.
Orange.
No,
Agent
my
Orange.
It was Agent Orange?
It was Agent Orange.
My closed
Trying to knock
captioning.
off
You're
a
not.
predator doing a jungle scene. That's what they were doing.
Hulk Hogan's exact quote is, "We all just drank a gallon of Agent Orange."
My closed captionings are not working, so I was like, why are they hopped up on goofballs and like
Cocaine.
what's going on here? Yeah,
and cocaine.
Mountain Dew and Pixie Sticks.
and Jimmy Hart comes across and is like, yeah, baby, cool. It's great. And everybody else is like, it looks like Kevin McAllister pulling on the dummies from Home Alone. Like everybody else is just like, fuck
Randy
you,
Savage
you know?
is losing his shit this entire promo. And I don't know if he ever actually speaks.
I don't think he did.
You think this
So
this version of the
can
war?
I ask? Do you guys prefer? Sorry, go ahead, Antonio. Go ahead.
Do you think this version of the War Games cage would have worked in NXT had they gone with this design?
Oh, Jesus, you stole my question.
This version of the War Games like match itself, yes. This version of the contestants, absolutely not.
You could take 4 jobbers from WCW right now to replace them with the Dungeon of Doom. And I'm going to hold that thought for a minute.
You know what's funny is
I don't know.
One of the Q&As we did with Eric was...
I just Go ahead.
No, you go first, because my thing's not related.
Fair enough. I was about to finish, and then I thought to myself, Karl hasn't seen this match yet, so I'll hold on to that thought for a few minutes.
When we did the rebook with Eric in '96,
should we track this? I just want to hear if he says, "Let's get ready to rumble." Sorry.
He's totally doing it.
Which, by the way, this is the first time he's been back since the opening match.
Yeah, how many? Does anybody have a counter?
The Taskmaster must
We are at
Hulk Hogan
2:13, 23,
tonight,
24, 25.
one-on-one.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring at this time.
God,
yeah.
Look at this clown. Look at this shit. Look at this.
I don't know
Brutus
if I like
the fucking barber beefcake.
Do I like this? Yes. No.
No. Yes. And then you have the shark. John Tenta, a legitimate main eventer. 4 years before this.
You gonna tell me that's not a real shark?
And then Kamala's Kamala, which is my favorite part.
I have never understood.
What did they get to mean?
And Kevin Sullivan comes out looking like he's about to go 15 rounds with Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
That or he's a flasher.
I've never understood the draw or the
Kevin
attraction
Sullivan
around
looks like the
Kevin
7th
Sullivan.
grade trainer on the high school varsity football team.
He clearly wears bike shorts.
The guy that's like overdoing the fuck out of it too, like, whoa,
Yeah.
that serious coach.
God, how do they do this to me?
How did they do Ming's entire career?
What's a more injustice, John Tenta or Ming?
Tenta. Not Tenta.
Yeah, I'd say Tenta. I'd agree with you on Tenta.
Just this match or a complete career retrospective? Because if it's complete career, it's me.
Oh, it's Ming.
I would say it's
Because
Ming.
Ming was never not mid-card. He was always mid-card. He never dropped any lower, never made it any higher.
Why did he just like hit people like?
I can tell you the angriest I ever got at a WCW match. It's not even close. There was a random Monday Nitro where Mang fought Goldberg for the world title. This was still during the undefeated streak. And in the middle of the match, Mang put the tongue and death grip on Goldberg. In the middle of the ring, Goldberg was not going to get to the ropes. It was going to be over. And what happened? For reasons never explained, Mang just let go and started celebrating.
Do you want me to keep track of this, or we stop?
No, you can probably stop. And then after
Wait,
that,
he hasn't done Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Well, he's got to. He still has to introduce Hogan, Luger, Sting.
Yeah, every
Evinger.
baby face, and then some dude named Lex.
Listen,
Lex Luger is probably more over than Kevin
hot
Sullivan.
take coming in hot.
I like the hot. I'm not saying I agree with it. I just like the hot take.
Again, WCW Luger, I think fits in WWF now.
Yeah.
Because again, if not Luger in the situation, then who? Who you gonna replace Luger with?
Oh God.
Because remember, he replaced
Yeah, I mean,
Vader.
you're really not like current, like as this is. He has to be number 4, obviously.
It's probably Johnny B. Bad.
Oh.
I mean, legitimately,
Well,
it's
we
gotta
had
be
him
that.
at the beginning with his little ruffles and all that stuff, you know, to get the crowd hype.
Seriously,
That's why we got Mark Marrow at the beginning of every, pay-per-view, as Eric said,
He started every pay-per-view from 88 to 98.
Set the tone.
Even
WWF
though he
is going to
started
own.
WWF 95, he kept going until 98.
WWF is going to own the Johnny B. Bad IP, correct? They would have bought all of the intellectual property when they purchased WCW.
It might have lapsed by now.
Yeah. In 01, yeah. But I don't
Right,
think they bought
it could have lapsed. They may not have used the trademark. It might have lapsed. But I think where they totally missed the ball was when that weird sort of Marrow, Sable, Lana, Dolph Ziggler, God, what was his name? Miro now? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Rusev. I think they completely missed the ball. Rusev should have come out as Johnny B. Bad with the cannon. Like, just lean the F into what was actually going on, which was McMahon was trying to book Rusev and Lana's divorce.
I know.
Yeah, I think that was what it was like.
Wasn't it Dolph Ziggler and
Behind the
Summer
scenes.
Rae?
Yes.
And Lana. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you guys remember Dog Ziggler in that?
No.
There's a promo where he's giving gifts. He's like, "I've given you Dog Ziggler," and he like hands him over the puppy.
That's probably around the time I bowed out the last time.
Good
I think it would have been perfect to flip him face because Rusev, like, he is the ultimate baby face in real life. The guy should be wearing overalls, coming out to the ring, talking about how much he loves America.
I had a friend that didn't even like wrestling, but when Aiden English would come out, do all that stuff, he called it. My friend called him. It was like, "Oh, here's what do you say? Edgar Allan Shakespeare." He's like, "Here comes Edgar Allan Shakespeare on the mic," and he'd be like, blah blah blah. Rusev Day. He's like, "This is the best part. I like this part of wrestling." And like, he didn't even watch it, but he loved.
So you like the
Rusev
promos?
Day shit.
Dude,
Well, the intro by Aiden English and like
That's
Rusev
what I mean.
Day,
You like the promo part? So what?
Well,
wait, hold on. So
like the intro and the presentation of like the whole thing, like he liked that. The 20 minutes of like the match and
Matt, you know Miro, but you didn't know Rusev.
I blanked so hard on it. I don't.
Okay, good.
I'm embarrassed.
I was like, what is happening right now? He's been Miro for 2 weeks, and you can't remember Rusev?
There you go, James. I know it's a little. You can kind of see it. No, James. No, sort of.
We're going to OT.
Yeah, it's 56-56.
Yeah, I've got
I'm gonna.
ESPN.
I'm gonna. I gotta. If you download the Fox Sports app and just sign.
Well,
Okay,
I'm a
dude,
Mystic TV guy.
I'll give you my TV provider.
I have a Mystic.
By the way,
TV.
Karl, we have 25 minutes to go, and we have not had a domino effect yet.
No, we did earlier with the. Okay, well, we had the one of is Mortal Kombat.
It was. Oh yeah.
This is the one I was going to pitch. I was going to Mortal Kombat. So I was going to pitch it. I was going to pitch this one. Every single one of us in here, I believe, if I am misspeaking, but I would say it's either all of us or close to it, has mentioned when we've checked out and when we weren't watching the current product and when we weren't hooked. And a lot of people go back to the a common thread is the brand split and the draft, and that's a big one for a lot of people, but to each their own. Domino effect, are we currently in with WWE, and maybe I don't put AEW in there because they have not even been around for a year. Are we in that period now where we're not watching the current product and we're in a dark age currently taking place? And if we are, do we realize it, and are we cognizant of it, and when and what will make it change?
I think pretty much answers that whole thing.
I think we are cognizant of it. I think a couple weeks ago,
live fans, full arenas, coronavirus.
Yeah.
I think that's what's gonna.
But I think I compared it.
But watching the numbers are down.
Yeah.
The ratings
I don't watch it.
Wait, why wouldn't the ratings be okay? We're held inside our houses during the Attitude Era. We're watching every second of it.
Right.
So why aren't we? Why do I not?
But I think a week or two ago, I compared what we're watching now to WWF in '94, where they're in this weird transition. They don't know who really they're going with, and now I think WWE has the germ of their next big money time angle in this heel Roman Reigns, and believe it or not, I'm digging Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Are they a thing?
Yeah, I'm digging how they're doing it. I love the angle of it. That's Roman's first title defense. Roman against Jey Uso.
See, that is really good.
Yeah,
I feel like oh my God, what is this?
Guy dude, to sell it.
Take him to the bridge.
400-pound ass off is what this is.
Actually, I was really kind of.
This is why I've given up watching Monday Night Raw, because of Retribution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they botched the hell out of that one.
His name is T-Bar.
T-Bar.
Yep. Dude, there's a guy I work with. He's a big wrestling fan. In fact, I was trying to sell him heavy on after he shows today. Like, he's pretty much about to join. Yeah, he was like, T-Bar, are you serious? T-Bar, he's like, he looks like Bane. He's like, they screwed us all up.
They are
T-Bar.
Family Dollar Banes, all of them.
Bane, Jason, and Predator.
Yep.
But, like, are we going to go back and, like, watch what we're missing now 10, 15 years from now and be like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe that didn't happen.
No.
How did I pass this up? This is good shit.
Well, I don't know if it is or not. Like, I don't know. Like,
well, that's the thing. Like, let's go back around this time in '95 and fantasy book it, right? Oh, if it'd been me, I would have done this. We're going to go back in, like, 2040 and be like 2020. Like, I would have done it this way. Like, I didn't give a shit. I would, you know how I would have done this differently? I wouldn't have had it at all. That's how I would have done it differently.
There's no fans. It's so hard to do this without fans.
But doesn't
everything I love is like, the glass shattering, the gong going, like, Rock and Hogan, like, like the fans, they bring it,
AEW, I'm not going to lie. It's hard to stomach, and Frank, I'm going to lead into you with this. AEW is good, man. I watched that last episode. Eddie Kingston's promo.
Mm-hmm.
He's on fire right now.
Yeah.
And that's like 2 hours north. I can go there. That's like 2 hours north.
Eddie Kingston reminds me of
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go. No.
Eddie Kingston reminds me of, honestly, a white version of Tracy Morgan. The way he talks, the way he's funny to me.
I don't know.
I really like him.
Eddie Kingston
is that
reached through the
screen.
screen.
No.
Eddie Kingston did the one thing that
I shouldn't have said
all
that.
right, so no,
Frank, you're fine. I was just
you're right.
Uncomfortable. It's fine.
No, you're right. No, he does have that, straight up get you pregnant. Hey,
That's yeah.
His speed, but it's this. Focus groups show this, that we are all preoccupied by being on our phone, tablets, and doing something else. Our back is turned. We're making food, something else going on. Eddie Kingston, the way he delivered that promo, if your back is turned, you're doing what the
you're turning around
like,
and
look
looking.
at me. Look at me in the eyes. Yeah. All of you sports entertainers, when the way he hit that, it was like, oh my God. MJF does the same thing in a different style, but Eddie Kingston's it's not like anything I've seen of the ability. He's just, I will turn around for you, and now I'm intrigued. And they should be getting Moxley, and he probably should have been from the get-go. I don't understand this Kevin Sullivan thing at all.
So listen, you remember? You remember
to like 2002.
you remember on Chat Pack, I told you that in 91, 92, 93, 94, I never stopped watching. I'm having that moment now. I cannot stomach the WWE right now.
I haven't watched. Yeah.
I have not watched a full episode of SmackDown since the pandemic. I fast forwarded through Monday Night Raw a couple of weeks ago, but I have not watched an episode of NXT in months. But when AEW was on, I record it, and when it's done recording, I watch it so I can fast forward the commercials. I do not miss AEW.
NXT is good.
NXT is really good.
I've heard NXT is good.
But the rest of the product, I agree, Frank,
with the
trash.
Who's North American champion right now?
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest, but he just oh no, never mind. That was somebody else. Yeah, Damian Priest is the North American champion. I was thinking he was the one that let it go. That was Karrion Kross.
Back to the Eddie Kingston thing. Like, just imagine him having an in-ring back and forth with Samoa Joe. Just imagine that.
Shit.
And NXT is becoming, to me, NXT is almost becoming Triple H is just outright being defiant now.
Yep.
Because he's making, Finn Balor is the current NXT champion.
And that's a direct shot at Vince.
Who are the tag champs?
It feels like.
They dropped the ball on a lot of people, so I believe the Finn thing is like.
Yeah, the NXT
out of the
champions,
leader of the hey, extreme talents that we have right now, and we're fucking up. Like out of those people, Finn's got to be the best, and he's probably like, hey, come on.
The NXT tag champions are Breezango, Fandango, and Tyler Breeze.
And
right.
His initial run through NXT was absolutely incredible.
Yes.
And then they flopped on him so hard when he got drafted to SmackDown.
And
there you go, James. There you go, James.
That's game, right? That's game.
It's game. There you go.
Sorry to interrupt.
Is Rhea Ripley women's champion?
No. That's Io Shirai.
I thought she left. Oh, that was Kairi Sane.
Yeah.
But
wait, is Io Shirai
and I hated that.
No, wait. Somebody just beat Io Shirai for the NXT women's title. Now I gotta look it up.
By the way, my favorite.
No, really?
Personal favorite.
I think so. I'm probably wrong.
Personal favorite is the formerly known as the Hot Mess, Zack Ryder's wife.
Chelsea Green.
Oh, Chelsea Green.
Love.
No, it's Io Shirai.
But I love Chelsea Green.
I really wish, the one thing about NXT is I really wish that they would have had Charlotte build a 4 horsewomen down on the farm with the title and made Rhea chase. I've talked about this with 2000 WWE. I guess it might have even been F at the time, or they were in the process of getting the F out. Triple H with the title and Foley chasing Triple H. And then how they use that to eventually level Rock up. And then, you know, it's some of the only, it's like, it's really, there's a crazy continuity between 99 and 2000, but without all of the bullshit, like without all the Russo stuff tacked on. And 2000 feels like they're booking almost like it's Mid-South in a lot of ways to me.
I would have
I
said,
feel
no, you go. Sorry.
Well, I feel the same way about NXT. And when they've got heel champions that everyone is chasing, it just, I think the formula works better. And I know WWE is a babyface territory, but I mean, TJ, to your point, heel Roman with Paul at least feels like it could be something to elevate babyfaces to chase him.
And I thought the perfect place to start was with Jey Uso.
Well,
Yes.
Perfect. I wouldn't have guessed it. I wouldn't have suggested it, but it's a great place to start.
They butchered the Fiend, and that's why we're here.
So
They butchered the Fiend, and that's why we're here.
That is true. The thing with Charlotte that I was going to say is, what's the one thing that NXT is known for? You got to be there every day. You got to be there every week. You got to make all those small Florida towns. You got to, you know, if you saw the FCW documentary, you got to. If Charlotte had pulled a Brock Lesnar and been a part-time show up when I want to, the heat she could have gotten for that would have been unreal. Like, been the complete opposite fighting champion of no. And really be gone for 2 months.
Bring Joseph Park in to play her lawyer about why she's not going to show up.
Little droplets and just wring the rag real slowly.
And that's the way you keep her away from Rhea. Yep. Ripley keeps on squashing everybody, wants to get that rematch, wants to get that shot. Yeah.
Ronda comes back. No, they have and then Ronda comes back, and guess who's her little understudy? Rhea. That's how you book it.
Is she coming back?
Well, I mean, when, you know.
No.
But if she were to come back, like in a recent, you know, once live crowds are there, and once you can sell out shit, you know, once you can start making real money, I bet you we see some good shit. Just
imagine if Triple H. So again, I see.
And then Ray as her little understudy.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal. But I kind of see Triple H, what NXT is doing right now, as a finger to Vince. And again, it all for me stems with Finn Balor being NXT champion. So you can't figure him out, I'll figure him out. Like, let me do what I did with him.
Okay, but okay. Then, but what if he doesn't tear his leg? Okay, but if he doesn't tear his labrum against Rollins,
right?
He was one of the final four in the Rumble after that, though. Like, Shinsuke won it. Wasn't it like Shinsuke, Finn, Roman, and I don't remember who the fourth one was. They still had him in there,
right?
Know? They just didn't do anything with him. The coup de grace is one of the coolest finishes I've ever seen.
But what I mean is,
1911
is you see how many guys are just getting
missed the ball on this.
How many guys are just collecting dust on WWE that were
Shinsuke
absurdly over NXT?
Asuka,
and what if? And what I'm saying is, what if Triple H one at a time goes, you know what? Give me Shinsuke back. 3 months goes by. Let me have Samoa Joe back. 3 months goes by. Let me have.
If he keeps Finn and brings Shinsuke back, you maybe jumping your show to
But
maybe
what if that's
one.
Triple H's plan? Because listen, anyone with half a brain can see Raw and SmackDown are sucking shit right now.
It is
SmackDown will not change. I don't care. This is the same analogy of dropping Undertaker and whoever else from a helicopter in and trying to save it. Nobody is watching on a Friday night. Go back to Thursdays.
Yeah.
Tuesdays. Yeah. Whatever you have to do, don't be on Friday. You have a better shot at Saturday against college football.
So I have a question. I've often thought this. Do you think that they're holding back a little bit so they can have fans in the arena?
Wait,
Because-
100%. I 100%. That is my that's my sentiment. Like,
what the?
I would
fuck
100%
just got-
believe that. They're waiting on the like.
I-
Boom.
Right. They're holding back the angles. They're holding back the big things that are gonna.
You can't
bring them
reveal
back.
nothing. Like, what are you gonna
I
reveal?
don't think so. I don't think they
Premier
are.
came out and said we don't. That we
You
as
can't
fans
reveal
don't like
nothing.
all
Like,
the-
what's the big reveal? Like, oh, that person's this.
I don't think they are
Like,
because
Right. There's no.
what was the big angle before?
And
There wasn't one.
said that we
Well,
don't like
Drew
all-
Everybody was getting on the Drew McIntyre train, you know, and then like crowds died.
I'm going to say it this much. If wrestling fans can't come to us, we have to go to them, right? If they're holding it back on purpose,
It's the fucking powder.
I am looking at that too. Again,
It's Hogan 95.
I feel like it's Home Alone 2 where like that bag of cement comes down.
I don't think
the
they're like holding back on purpose, but I think they're like only like giving us like 10% right now.
And I don't disagree with you.
They're trying to further their agenda, obviously, but they're like waiting until they can do that. Boom, boom, boom.
But I don't think there is
to me. To me, it's like AEW is coming to the fan, as where WWE is like, we'll still be here, pal, even though this part might suck, you know, might be a dip. But it's like AEW feels like they're coming at you.
I can go to a show. It's 2 hours north, and they are selling tickets. Like,
I'm
I
still
can go
up.
to a show.
I'm still up for draft. Well, I have a plane ticket because of the LKBH cancellation. I got two out of them.
I forgot Karl was the pinky out member. Oh, what is that? Sutter House?
Hey, TJ, I'm switching over to my phone.
Okay.
All right,
You know
I'm
what's
kidding,
fun
man.
is
Where'd you go? There you go. Yeah.
with NXT, you know what's funny is with Triple H leading the charge, and he's done a phenomenal job with NXT. Anyone who thinks otherwise is just anti-Hunter. I don't know how else to describe it. But when we were,
No, I think he has. I agree with you.
yeah, when we were growing up, pretty much when Triple H really became a main eventer, I'll say 99, until before NXT became what in the incarnation it is now, so like 2017, 2016. So from 2000 to 2016, what was Triple H's essentially his credo with the fans? Puts himself over, won't put anyone else over. He's selfish. He's using his position as the husband of Stephanie McMahon to his own benefit, and then he takes over NXT. And he gives us.
And then he's signing every indie guy.
Yes, and
it's
he's
like
signing
a counter thesis of what he was branded as.
He signs Hideo Itami Kenta. He gets Shinsuke Nakamura. He gets Kevin Owens. He gets Sami Zayn. He gets all these dudes and puts them way over. And they get
Adam
drafted to
Cole.
the main roster, and they shit the bed with them. And then a lot of them left. Kenta left. A lot of guys left. Ty Dillinger Sean Spears is another one. Huge, way over in NXT. Flopped on the main roster, not his fault. This is how he's booked. And I almost wonder with, Finn Balor becoming the NXT champion, Breezango being the NXT tag champions, I almost wonder if Triple H is slowly pulling these guys back. Like, I know you're not doing anything with Shinsuke. Why don't you let me have Shinsuke back? Samoa Joe's only commentating. Why don't you let me have Samoa Joe back? And just slowly start rebuilding his roster. And I know it's the wrestling fan in me, but I would love to see Triple H garner a roster and make a run at Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
But my greater point, what I was started at before I started on that little side run, was the general wrestling fan, and especially the newsletter fans, hated Triple H all throughout the 2000s until he took over NXT.
I agree.
And now they love him. They love him. Everyone wants Triple H to take over the company.
So now get ready to really have your mind blown. Your nips are about to be popped off. Okay, here's the deal. Had Vince not gone and picked and plucked who he wanted in the 80s, would Triple H have had the wherewithal to hire a William Regal to go over and make sure that he gets a Red Dragon, to get a bruiserweight, to get a vaulter, to go and get the guys that and Adam Cole, those guys that have the knack for scouting, Matt Bloom, to have the coach to do the PC part of it. So when we talk about is Vince overrated, and we talked about that question about that really pissed us off and then aren't agreeing with him. Well, is Triple H overrated for getting Matt Bloom and taking and rehabbing the career of William Regal, getting the right people around him, surrounding himself with the right people to go out and do the right job that maybe, hey, that's not my strength, but I bet you William Regal has an eye for talent if I send him out to PCW or whatever the promotion may be, Game Changer Wrestling in New Jersey. Yeah, that's what Vince did. Triple H did exactly what Vince did in the 80s. He's doing with NXT.
Carbon copy.
To a T. And it just sucks that the pandemic is hitting. So
that's when Vince was at his best. I mean, like, Vince was at his best when he was in Vince is always when he's trying to build towards something.
Big dick swag.
Conrad's talked about this. If you're not building towards something, you're inevitably looking to lose it.
Right. Well, so to Carl's point,
like the chase. You need the chase.
Vince had JR.
Yeah.
JR was the guy with Briscoe. Go find me guys. Well, I used to work with this guy named Stunning Steve Austin in WCW. We can make him something. You bring him to me, I'll make him. So JR brought Steve Austin, Vince made him. Right? Terrorizing.
Kurt Angle. Brock Lesnar.
Terrorizing in WCW.
Oh my Lord. Oh my.
He made the prototype into,
John
his like superstar. Like he had superstars, but like that was his prototype. He made the prototype.
Had Stephanie not heard him rapping, we may never have known the name of John Cena.
Right.
There's no telling how much that company may have dipped or something. Because, they could promote his fucking, Fruit Loops t-shirt wearing ass like all over the place. And he's a good dude. I'm not talking shit on him.
He is.
He is. 1,200 Make-A-Wishes or whatever. Like, he is a very good guy. But, they definitely got their vanilla guy, if you know what I'm saying.
Dude, look at the Giant.
Big Show.
This isn't his debut, right?
He's about to
murder
Hulk Hogan.
Up the whole.
No, he had debuted at.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
I'm just glad to watch him without a semi-truck or something.
He debuted. When did he debut?
Wasn't it the Yeti? Was it
Halloween Havoc? That was after this.
Right. I mean, like his in-ring match.
Oh, his in-ring debut, his match debut was, Halloween Havoc of this year. But I want to say his, television debut was, I think it was the Great American Bash of this year.
Hey, baby, we got to save Hulk Hogan, baby.
Doesn't he show up or, he just shows up in the background somewhere?
No, I think he's in Dungeon of Doom promo.
No, he is. He is. He is a reminder of Hulk Hogan's past. He's the nephew of Andre the Giant.
I thought it was the son.
So stupid.
Son. Yeah, you're right. He was the son of Andre the Giant. I think it became the nephew of Andre the Giant.
By the way, if that white powder was La Cocaina, that's why Savage is getting in there.
La Cocaina.
If that was La Cocaina, there'd be the baby faces from the locker room would come in, and
you wouldn't see any left from the match.
Hey, brother, is that shoe coke? That's real coke. We're going. Let's go.
On a time we're gonna be here in Jimmy Hart.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
I got an idea. How about you insert Michael Hayes as the referee?
Hey, is that cocaine on right? Hey, did they just drop their sack?
I know entirely too many of these names now because of Eric Bischoff.
That's right.
Let's see who we can name here.
Rodney O'Rear could be the third.
Rodney O'Rear. Hell of a man.
Jackie
Crockett.
Dick Little. Oh, Rick Little. Never mind.
Kemper Rogers. He's brought up Kemper Rogers.
Bill Bird.
That's a PBS corporate.
Yeah.
Moses Williams.
This pay-per-view
Doug
is brought to you by the
Dillinger.
PBS Corporation. We'll be taking donations.
Janie Engel. Marty Lundy.
Yeah.
Jody Hamilton.
Freddie Hamilton.
Marty Lundy.
Wait, was he Gary Jesser?
Zane Bresloff. Craig Leather. Shivani
Marty
Miller.
Lundy, like
Who's that
Marty
scene
Lundy,
about?
like
Wait, who's Marty Lundy?
Oh my God.
He's from Rome, Georgia. Well, that was it, folks. That was Fall Brawl 95. And we talked about none of it, which was the best.
Right? Hey, Swerve. Is Swerve the poll? We swerve the show.
You know what's fun is we watched our first show was SummerSlam 97, and there was so much going on. Like, we didn't have a choice. We had to talk about the show. Second show, Road Wild 97, because it was the competition, a pay-per-view from that month. And it's the NWO, the height of it. So you got to talk about it. Last week we did WrestleMania 3. Hogan Andre, Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart. Got to talk about it. This week, they voted for War Games 95.
And we said,
Hey,
fuck you.
shout out to Frank Wycheck. He got a mention during the show. Frank Wycheck. Fall
Frank
Brawl
Wycheck
95.
hijacked-
My man
there's a
Wycheck.
Frank
Frank
Wycheck.
Wycheck hijacked
Kevin
the show
Dyson
for like a
shout-outs.
minute and a half.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. I love Javon Curtis. I actually bought
Louis,
his jersey.
How did I hijack the show? Antonio was antagonizing me with his pictures.
For one, I said Frank Wycheck, not Frank Bruno.
We also talked a lot about
Because you were posting pictures of Frank Wycheck, and they were showing up on my television screen.
Oh,
Hey, Carl's got the X. Carl's got the X.
Well, no. No, what I was actually kind of bringing this full circle with is,
In Texas.
so what I'm thinking is, Frank, is you need to get down to Florida post-pandemic, because if that former Home Depot,
with a sock full of hot pennies.
you could find that's a garden hose. You said hose. Oh, they might have a tilling hoe.
Hey, they do have garden hose, and I'm not talking about watering those flowers.
Oh, I thought you.
Giggity.
oh my gosh.
No, you're just stealing those flowers.
Okay.
What has happened?
Oh Lord have mercy.
We are completely off the rails, and not the rails that Macho Man and Hogan were doing.
Hey, did you see that in the ring? Hey.
Were we really ever on the rails when this show started? I don't know if we were ever fully on the rails.
Did
You know
we,
what's
No.
fun is this
Did
show had such a wholesome message behind it when we started.
did we make
Family,
it?
togetherness, and then
Everything just kind of fell apart.
we end up with Macho Man and cocaine. That's how the show ends.
Well, how did,
That's what
how
it
did we
is.
how did we go 3.5 hours or 4, whatever it is, without hearing Matt's? I almost need to hear your Macho Man again. And part 2, we got no sheiky, baby.
No chic.
You jabronis. Oh,
That's
hug
good.
Tui, you break your back, top guy theater.
Oh,
Make you
chicken salad.
Wait, Matt, can you do your Macho Man one more time? Was that you?
Well, yeah. I think I might be able to do something here. Yeah. Once upon a time, I happened to be in a War Games match. Yeah. Happened to involve Hogan, and he sucked. But I happened to carry his ass pretty good. Yeah. And I did that with the power of one thing. And it's not a cup of coffee, Mean Gene. That's a different promo from a different promotion. Yeah. White substances. Maybe the man upstairs is listening to me. I know he's listening to us right now. This is completely off the rails, tough guy theater. Don't you know? Dig it.
Matt, I now know his mother is Macho Man Randy Savage. And his dad is the guy that does the voiceovers for movie trailers. It's tremendous.
Wow.
Where have
Matt-
you guys been my entire life?
Man, I'm gonna text you an idea for something I have. I'm honestly crying. Hold on, I have to text you.
We broke.
I got an
Carl.
idea.
Oh my God.
Matt broke Carl.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh.
I got an idea.
Is the Confederate flag so cool? Hey.
Hey, you know what'll get the most heat? Hey, Vince, listen. You know what'll get the most heat when we go back to crowds? Hey.
You know, Jimmy Jam Garvin just turned 71. You can call him back. We could do the Freebirds 2020.
He'll walk out with the flag draped over his shoulders. They'll beat him with empty beer cans.
Hey,
It'll be heat we need.
Here's a little before and after. Hardcore Holly plus Frank playing GTA equals. You got hose?
So much.
How about I beat him?
I got an idea.
Give me the belt.
How about you give me the belt?
You can make the same statement without GTA.
That's true. How about you give me the belt? And then I beat the horse with him.
Take it that one. Take it that one. I'm going to mark that one up there.
I love you guys.
Oh, my Lord.
Matt, walk off, bat flip. If anybody saw the home run in the Cubs Sox game yesterday where the guy had the bat flip that, like,
went to NASA?
Yeah.
Hasn't landed yet?
Yeah.
We need to decide because JR's doing Yokozuna next week. What are we going to – what is the show we're going to recommend for Yokozuna? Now, we've heard Survivor Series 92.
Y'all say that y'all are the fans of Yoko. Like, what's the, like, legit, probably, like, 20 to 30-minute, like, this is how he did it?
No, it's a coffin. It's a casket match.
So there's four.
with all the heels running out.
Right. There's four choices. There's Survivor Series 92's debut. Rumble's 93 is he wins it. That's his coming out party. WrestleMania 10, we get to watch him wrestle twice because he's going to wrestle Luger and Brett.
Oh, yeah.
Why not WrestleMania 9?
Oh, you're right. I had that back.
9 could be.
Yeah, so not 9.
Hey, you gotta say that one's a grand slam. You gotta say
we're gonna watch him lose to Hogan at the same time. And then the match they're saying is Hogan. I'm sorry, Yokozuna. See, now he's in my head. Yokozuna, Undertaker at what is that?
Well,
SummerSlam.
Royal Rumble 94.
Okay.
What about the beginning of the Lex Express?
Yeah, no, the thing is, he ended Hulkamania. Flash bulbs or not, Harvey Whippleman or not.
King of the Ring 94.
Yeah, at the Nutter Center. I've been there.
It was in Providence, Rhode Island.
No, it was in Dayton. No, I've been there several times to the Nutter Center.
That's Royal Rumble 94.
Yeah, I mean that you got to put. I think it's 94 or burying Undertaker because those are like pivotal moments in.
Here's a thought.
What's like his best match though? Like what's his
WrestleMania 9?
9 with Brett's his best match.
Why not do Survivor Series 94? That I think it's Survivor Series.
You mean the one behind me? The poster behind me?
Is that the one where Chuck Norris is a special guest enforcer?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, sir. See? It's
That
time
Royal
to
Rumble
meet your maker.
Or Royal Rumble 94 where The Undertaker goes back to meet his God.
But you have to remember, we're not doing a show about The Undertaker. It's a show about Yokozuna.
But, I mean, both of those were good matches for Yokozuna, I thought.
That's fair. People only have this assumption there's only like 5 good Yokozuna matches.
What if we did a match compilation? What if we did 9, the Royal Rumble one, and one other one, and did 3 of them?
Just straight up matches?
That could work.
Like I don't know how you would do that on a poll, but what if you did a match?
But Yokozuna would be.
Well, like it would be like Yoko, and then here are your 3 match options.
Yeah.
This combination,
let me tell you something about polls. Because
once upon a time, Judy Bagwell ended up on one year.
So if we put Yokozuna on one, we gotta make sure that it's in good shape, yeah. Because otherwise it won't hold the girth, and girth is important, yeah.
You guys have broken Matt Levin.
He can only do Macho Man.
By the way, did anybody have on their bingo card? Somebody mentioned the word girth on here. Because I didn't. Oh no, I did actually.
God, we should do a bingo card for this.
Oh Jesus!
You know what? I say here's a match I suggest for Yokozuna. WrestleMania 11.
Oh God, no.
Because it's the debut of Yokozuna and Owen Hart as a tag team, and they debut against the Smoking Guns for the tag title.
When does Corny show up?
He's already there by then.
Gotta be.
By WrestleMania 11, he's been there for 2 years.
He's like on Smoky Mountain in like 5 months after 11.
Who's that, Cornette?
Yeah, I feel like he's gone.
Well, his last managerial role was Vader, and then he went backstage shortly after.
But Smoky Mountain started in
91.
Oh, wow. Never mind.
Yeah, he left Smoky Mountain to go to the WWF.
I think
But he was bankrolling Smoky Mountain through his WWF deal.
And they brought in the Heavenly Bodies in order to kind of get him, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that part of the gimmick?
Yep.
Okay, so on that Yokozuna episode, it was a big deal that Hacksaw knocked down Yoko, which had never been done.
Right.
And then it's a huge deal that his body slammed on this, on our nation's birthday.
It's like number 4, obviously. Narcissist, Select Express, Distant number 4, War Games.
Yep.
Continuity. So we're good about the show. Continuity. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. My bad.
I'm trying to think of how you can work it, because I feel like he's so tough to have. Like with Bobby, you picked a great one in the fact that it was a WrestleMania that was all encompassing in what he meant and everything. It's like Yokozuna had his moments. Isn't he more of a moment guy and an oh my gosh guy? I don't know. I feel like it's hard to do him justice. But the first one that came to mind was the casket match, if that was the option.
So let's narrow it down. For some reason, my WrestleMania 11 idea got over the debut of Yokozuna and Owen Hart. It's a tag team, so we'll keep that up
because we all love Owen.
Right. So Yoko and Owen against Smoking Guns, WrestleMania 11. That's number 1. Choice number 2 is the casket match. We'll go 3, Royal Rumble 93, where you beat Savage to win the Rumble. 4, we'll do WrestleMania 10.
9.
Have we done a Rumble yet?
I want to save. I really want to save WrestleMania 10 because that show is so good.
Yeah, 9.
We'll do
you meant
9.
9. Yeah.
But what? So we're okay. Well, we can rewatch some of these because 9's got probably going to win a very spicy poll in the future.
9 is going to have so much good banter of how awful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that one's going to be. That's what I'm saying. Is that going to be a multiple winner?
9 catches so much shit because of Undertaker, Giant Gonzalez. But name me a good.
The opening match was fantastic.
It's the only match for Mr. Perfect to forget what was going on.
Right.
The opening match, HBK and Tatanka, with Luna Vachon debuting.
The Headbanger or the Headbangers? Was it the Headhunters and the Steiners? Was that the opening match?
No, I know is
no. Michaels and Tatanka for the Intercontinental title.
The Headbangers and
Luna Vachon. What is that?
I said the Headbangers again. The Headhunters and the Steiners were really good also. They just beat the hell out of each other.
There's no good matches on that other than Yokozuna and Bret Hart.
Yokozuna, Bret solid. No, that's what's.
It's got potential to come up.
There are good matches on WrestleMania night. Razor and Bob Backlund. Now, granted, they went 3 minutes, but that match.
Looking at the card, the last 4 matches, we could probably have 6 episodes about.
We could
you know what I mean?
Open it up with the dark show or dark match of Papa Shango too.
Hey guys, I gotta go. You guys have a good night.
Bye, Antonio. Bye, Mini Transit.
Yeah, bye.
Peace, brother.
So, all right. So we have to make a decision. We have WrestleMania 11, the casket match, Royal Rumble 93, or WrestleMania 9. What will be our Yokozuna pay-per-view we designate for the poll?
I love the idea of doing a Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble 93.
Wait, which one did he? Wait, why is King of the Ring not on there of him ending Hulkamania?
Because I forgot to put it on there. That's why. So we'll throw King of the Ring 93 up there too. When he wins the title back from Hogan.
When you say casket match, are you talking about Royal Rumble 94?
Yes.
Or
where all the heels?
Yeah.
All right, so since we're putting up Royal Rumble 94, let's take out 93. So we'll supplant 93 with 94.
Okay.
Because now that I say that, I really don't want to watch Yokozuna in the 30-man battle royal.
Yeah, and Macho pinning him.
Right. Yeah. So we'll replace 93 with 94. So WrestleMania 9, Royal Rumble 94, casket match, WrestleMania 11. Because I can't imagine when we're going to watch WrestleMania 11 ever again. Hey, you guys want to watch Bam Bam and LT? Of course not.
You guys are
with our football conversation.
Oh, that's actually true.
You guys are going to go through WrestleMania 11 is going to be like
and Mongo's on there too.
AWA 89 Team Challenge Series. Go look.
The three players in LT's corner. Chris
God,
Spielman, Reggie White, and Steve Mongo McMichael.
I ain't gonna lie, hey, last night I was on the Twitter like Mongo something, and it was just showing like gifs of like all his fails.
What is it? Our dear Mongo, is that the name of it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Did you post that? One of y'all shared something, and I just like went down a rabbit hole, just like watching all this shit.
It's phenomenal.
Oh man, I was lost for like an hour.
Account.
Mongo and Friends. That's our Mongo. Is that?
Oh man!
By the way, I think my favorite part of
I love it
on that Twitter page.
I think my favorite part of the Mongo account is he's following nobody. But he has 32,000 followers, but he's following nobody. Tremendous. At Mongo and Friends. All right. Gotta make a decision.
Wait, I thought we're doing. Oh, wait, are you doing a poll or are we
11.
picking?
We're deciding which pay-per-view are we gonna designate for Yokozuna for the poll.
It's between 11 KOTR 94 and Royal Rumble 94, correct?
Yes.
Right.
I vote 94, but y'all know why.
Wait, which 94?
KOTR.
Royal Rumble 94.
Rumble 90. So it's WrestleMania 11, Royal Rumble 94, King of the Ring 93, Royal Rumble 94.
Which one's King of the Ring 93? Is that where he beats Hogan?
Ending of Hulkamania.
Yes, that's where he beats Hogan. That's where Brett wins.
I'll be the tiebreaker since we have an even number. I'll play tiebreaker because I'm torn between two of them. I'm not going to vote unless it's a tie.
Matt, your pick.
Rumble is the one with Taker, correct? The casket match.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rumble 94.
We got to vote for 94, James.
I honestly really don't know either of them, so I will side with the majority. I don't know. I really wasn't,
only one guy's voted, so that's two guys for Royal Rumble 94. Frank?
94.
Royal 94.
Royal Rumble 94.
So, I mean, it's already.
Yeah,
it's already over. Henry?
Is that the he's sitting up to heaven stuff?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Hey, y'all got to do that one.
Yeah.
Henry?
Part of me wants to pick King of the Ring 93, but I'm going to stick with the consensus and go with Royal Rumble 94.
Well,
all right.
I knew I liked
that means you guys have it.
At this point, it's a run-out. Carl, what do you have?
I was going to be.
Y'all do this. This is going to be good.
I would have picked 94 or ending Hulkamania. Those are two I would have picked.
I would have picked Mania 11.
I just want to watch y'all's commentary the last what is that? He's like ascending. Oh man, I want to see. I want to hear.
He's not going to heaven.
He's ascending to the heavens.
Oh man. I can't wait to watch y'all butcher the absolute. Y'all should butcher and critique that one. 100-fold.
Well, I guess we know our option now. It's going to be Royal Rumble 1994 will be Yokozuna's option.
Great.
Karl, if that wins, you have to cover the ascent into heaven as Sheiky Baby.
Oh, baby. Sheiky baby. I'm going to hell for messaging a girl. She say, 18. I check. Oh, fuck me. She's 17. Oh, no.
Is Karl looking at his Facebook dating
No,
app?
I'm trying. I'm actually writing a script to Matt for something, for an idea that I have.
She's going
I thought he
into
was on Tinder.
heaven. Well, I'm giving her 11. She's gonna meet the Lord. Well, I'm giving her McCord.
I actually got a question, TJ.
Okay.
I've been filtering through the pages of the podcasts on Twitter. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe based on what I'm seeing, what they're covering next week on Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard is Captain Lou Albano.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Oh.
WrestleMania 1?
For
Wow.
Lou Albano, yeah,
Ew,
I don't know what else you do for Lou Albano.
Head shrinkers.
That was
Yeah.
for a cup of coffee. That's when they turned face for a hot minute, just before they won the titles.
Lou Albano might be an interesting listen, we don't know him. Okay, we have 6 hardcore wrestling fans, and we just heard silence because we don't know anything of him other than Cyndi Lauper, him
Yeah.
being in that music video,
Yeah.
and having a weird ass.
He was huge
Ring.
in the 70s. Huge.
And we're a
As
little too
what?
young. Like, that's
As
the other
what?
part.
What promotion was he in? The Rock's mom's one?
WWF.
Oh, I didn't know. Like, I'm honestly asking. I
Yeah,
thought
he was in the
like,
WWF. He was
Peter
huge.
WWF.
WWF.
But man, they had so many managers. Like, it kind of was, he was paired a lot of times.
So
what about that story where they were just like, they were pinballing his ass back and forth? Like, Vince told him to go talk, and then Bruce told him to go talk to someone else, and they were just like pinballing his ass back and forth.
I'm fairly certain Lou Albano's not going to win the poll next week. Because, I mean, again, our only choice is WrestleMania 1.
It's going to be Rumble 94. It's
I have a
going to
feeling
win.
that one's going to
It's
be.
either going to
want-
be
we
Royal Rumble
want it.
94 or the AWA's
Oh,
Team
the Team
Challenge.
Well,
Challenge
that-
Series.
All right, no,
Oh.
yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna.
That only leaves us
that's
3
my
choices.
I will-
though.
That has to be its own separate, because that one's going to win in a landslide.
That
I will have
just
to
made it so much more
something else
difficult.
up, like,
Uh,
it's got to be a bonus,
I will not even leave Twitter for 6 days straight voting for AWA. I will not. It'll be so skewed. It's going to be like Chicago voting. We're going to get dead people to vote. It's going to be like vote early, vote often. It's going to be so many times over that you'd see 10,000 votes for AWA.
And we don't even know Arn's topic yet.
I think
That's
this week
true.
it's an Ask Arn anything.
Oh,
Is
well,
it-
then
is
that.
it?
So our
That
two
be-
choice.
That being said, I know that we typically try to avoid Tony's because they do the watch along on what happened when. Their choice this week looks like it's ECW Anarchy Rules 2000.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
Because we
So
don't
do
have
we
an Arn
break?
show, and
James,
there's
do it
no way
right now.
WrestleMania 1's even going to be remotely competitive.
Wow.
Wait,
Do we break rank this week and put Tony on the poll?
I ain't gonna lie
I
though,
think